practice slash and burn agriculture, because there's a greater ability to derive profit from the land if they slash it and grow, coffee or maize or whatever, than leaving it, as forest. The ancient Aboriginals, meanwhile, they could hunt. They could actually hunt just fine. The thing is that burning down entire forests to get some temporary reward where the animals run out and they can just kill them real quick. Sustainable. It's. I mean,
right. Just because we haven't
figured that out.
But we've been around for long enough to know better. Yeah. Well, I mean, let's say that humanity ends itself by nuking ourselves. We did this dismiss humanity as like, well, that was dumb. Like clearly, there's more. There was intelligence there in order to build nukes and blow ourselves up. Burning forests down is considered advanced, not stupid. It might have a bad effect afterwards because it's like, oh shit, well we just kind of fucked ourselves. But that's how you get advancement, is making mistakes like that. There's probably elements in European history as well of doing similar sort of things.
Oh yeah, like overforestry and shit like that.
Right.
Overfishing of lakes.
We overfish the fucking oceans right now.
So if you do find a society to be more intelligent than another one, does that necessarily mean that society is better, or is that what the
this bullshit stemmed out of the discussion about genetics. Yeah, it was a discussion about genetics and
right. So even then, you could just rephrase the question. If a certain particular group of humans have superior genes, does that or more advantageous genes, does that necessarily make them a better group of humans?
It all depends on your aesthetic preferences. If you're, there's a bunch of fucking retarded anarcho-primitivists that would prefer to live as that's their aesthetic preference. I completely disagree with them, and I think they're idiots, but that's their aesthetic preference.
You can't actually make
the difference is
that talking about environment affecting things earlier. In my education, we've learned that about as much to play on civilization as it does on genetics, which it's significant that where a civilization is and what resources it has available to it, be it or a advantage, can often define what that civilization finds important, and how quickly they advance.
That completely falls apart when you look at civilizations that developed in areas that were resource scarce.
Like I said, there's areas.
Hold on, and then you have
advantage for advancement, because if you figure out how to get the resources that you need.
Right.
Often, though, it's with technology that's brought in from other sources.
Right.
Like technology, in the Fertile Crescent, that's where humans first decided, fuck it, let's start farming. And whether that was because it was really easy to do there, or because the hunter-gatherer situation became scarce, I don't know. Nobody knows. But people started figuring out, it's like, oh, well, let's plant the food. And then that technology started expanding outwards. And then you get into areas where you can't really do that. So you wind up using technology in order to obtain food in a mass scale in order to build a city differently, like fishing, for example.
If I may finish what I was going to say, the thing is that if you look at the entirety of human history, there are plenty of areas where civilization developed, where there is an analogous area, where there was a population there for much longer and no civilization developed there.
Technology started in the Fertile Crescent. As civilization starts to spread out from there, I think that the deciding, fuck it, let's sit down and farm the food, rather than doing what we did yesterday and then doing that perpetually, is not an easy decision to make, because it's a massive change, and it's also very risky. And when food is plentiful, from a hunter-gatherer perspective, it doesn't really make sense to change your behavior. It does make sense to change your behavior in situations in which food is scarce, but you can get food a different way. Like if you have a limited farming access, but you do have limited farming, limited hunting access, but you do have fishing, you start to build a fishing village. If if you have limited food but no fishing, you start to build a farming village if the land is fertile.
Well, wouldn't you agree that when we look at the development of civilizations, it becomes a common thread among all of them that they exploit every available resource to the greatest extent possible?
No, I wouldn't fire as you use, but I would say that civilizations wind up being defined by the resources around them and how they figure out how to get them.
I disagree. I mean, I agree to a certain extent, but obviously civilizations have destroyed themselves based on their value system, their culture. I mean,
that's a little bit different. Because he's talking about dawn of civilization stuff. So, to ask why Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, never got the memo to start doing Neolithic instead of Mesolithic. I think that Africa remained in Mesolithic for a long period of time because there's a communication block, being the Saharan Desert, that a lot of other people didn't have.
Yeah, but Ocean, the thing is that there are a lot of civilizations that arose in Southeast Asia and East Asia and such that never had any contact with the fertile.
Right, and then there's also North America, right? Right.
Well, and Meso and South America. I mean, I think I linked you when we were having this discussion a long time ago about language. I'm pretty sure I linked you to in Mesoamerica that is pretty reliably dated to 260,000 years ago, give or take 60,000 years.
Considered controversial.
Of course it is. Yeah, of course it's considered controversial. But the controversy doesn't refute the fact that all of the dating methods that have been undertaken by Indians all dated that to about 260,000 years ago. So the date itself,
more investigation into, and I don't accept that date at all.
Well, the thing is that even if you don't accept the date of 260,000 years ago, no one is saying that it's any younger than 60,000 years. At the latest, 60,000 years old. And the thing is that saying 60 is basically the establishment saying, okay, we have no fucking idea how to reconcile 260,000 years, so here's a mulligan. We'll say 60,000 years and call it even. Okay? but no. Because
it's possible that you had a Catalhoyuk kind of setup that happened earlier than the Catalhoyuk, and it just popped up in South America and then died out. I could fathom that being false starts to civilization, but people started actually sitting down and farming and entering into the Neolithic era on the Eurasian continent is when the seeds of civilization that as we know it began. This site that you're talking about is something that is often used by conspiracy theorists. There isn't very much confirmed data around it, and there also has
the data is robust. Jean C. McIntyre, pushed for this to be accepted, by the mainstream, and she basically had her career destroyed. And before she ever went public with it, she went to independent labs and had them test and tell them what the things were. She just asked people to date these things.
This sounds hoaxy to me. That's one of the problems.
Yeah, I'm telling you, look into it. It's not hoaxy at all. This is the problem with establishmentarianism, or establishmentarianists, is that you have this incredible conflicting data that comes up, and you're like,
what is this thing?
I don't think that this does anything to your point. It doesn't help anything.
I'm not really making a point. I'm just saying. I'm saying that
you're just talking out your ass, and you're interrupting me.
Let me know my ass. You're partaking in the conversation. When we're talking about the development of civilizations in the world, as we understand them, Fertile Crescent wasn't the key differentiator. There were plenty of civilizations that arose and fell in contact to the Fertile Crescent civilization at all. By land or sea.
Civilization rose and fell without... What the fuck?
Finish the question. Finish the question.
You wouldn't be able to have... If there's no writing in this area, then you're not going to be able to say that it's a civilization.
Okay, but you're trying to kind of draw the fucking correlation here that Sumer somehow spread the language to the rest of the world. That's not. They did develop language. They have the earliest tested written language.
Right.
They weren't the ones that encouraged everybody else to start writing. What happened was they developed writing, and then around the same time,
I'm not saying
there was evolution of societies where other people started writing things down.
God damn, what the fuck? That's not what happened.
You're right. That's not what happened.
Right. People would travel to Sumer, they'd see writing, and they'd be like, cool, we should do that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm telling you, is that didn't happen in a lot of the other civilizations of Earth. Nobody traveled to Sumer. Nobody traveled from Sumer to their fucking areas.
What the fuck?
From all over the world. From everywhere all over the world. People travel to Sumer at that period in time, 6,000 years ago. You're right.
What's with this guy? It's like it's a straw man factor.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
He's taking things that I'm not saying at all and then criticizing them.
You think that the Indus Valley civilization got the idea to develop writing from Sumer?
No. From
Okay, good.
Not directly.
Okay, good. He's one of
Where
those.
did they get the
I think
idea
Sumer
from?
went over there and was like, yeah, look, we're just going to teach you guys cuneiform, and then you're going to come up with a system that's completely different. No one's suggesting that.
You would disagree with the assertion that anywhere else on the Earth, civilizations developed writing independently of Sumer. You would not agree with that.
You could say that there's multiple forms of writing that are descended from the same proto-languages that Sumer is related to. Like,
No, that's not what I asked.
Sanskrit is definitely related to cuneiform.
I don't think so, but that's not what I'm even asking. Are you saying that there are...
in that area, if you don't accept the explanation
But
as being what your straw man is, you're fine.
Would you disagree with the idea that existed on Earth that developed writing entirely independent of any contact with Sumer?
Not without a relation to the same proto-languages.
So then you agree that there are, or could have been, nations that developed writing and never had any contact with Sumer, or any of their descendant languages.
What civilization?
The Chinese contact.
That's one of them, yeah.
There's
Southeast Asia, you have China.
There's trade routes going all across Eurasia. The idea that
6,000 years
China
ago.
have any
Years ago?
trade networks across the Pacific.
Yeah.
Fucking great. I'm trying to recall my history here. I don't.
What do we
If
cry
I'm
for?
mistaken, please correct me. I'd like to see a citation on that.
Routes going across the Pacific. That's easy. You can find that yourself.
No. Of there being any trade networks around Eurasia at that period in time, either by land or by sea.
I'm not saying that Sumer went to visit. Like I don't get why you're strawmanning this. Because I'm not saying that anybody from Sumer.
I'm
Oh
asking
my God!
you
Maybe part of the reason why you're strawmanning me is because you don't fucking listen. It's a proper form of
I'm
conversation.
just asking for some proof of these trade routes 6,000 years ago. How difficult is that for you?
Interrupting.
A lot fucking easier to interrupt him.
Jesus,
guy.
hang on. You're an incredibly frustrating individual. I don't know what the fuck.
Hang on. You were arguing for those trade routes earlier. You were the one that brought up Polynesia. You brought that up specifically to talk about how the Polynesians...
Jesus Christ, you're retarded. I was saying that the Polynesians and considered it a challenge, and they created boats to cross the ocean.
Yes,
I didn't say anything about trade routes, you fucking idiot.
So
I was talking about the Polynesians having a desire to explore because they were higher intelligence than sub-Saharan Africans.
That's
It
having
doesn't matter,
found
you fucking
places
idiot.
across
Oh my God.
the water. Places across the water
with people who were not really all that dissimilar to them. It never occurred to them to go back and trade.
Did you know that Ocean is a Jew? But you
Fuck off.
because he has the problem with Jews.
Anyway, Ocean, I'm looking
What
for
we all know the only
If people communicate trade webs, and you could indirectly draw a line between China and Super. The seeds of the Silk Road were already being brought up at that point. People were trading with each other like nuts.
I'm trying to get a read on the time periods, though, because I think we may be thinking of different time periods.
I'm talking about like around 3,000 to 4,000 BC.
Thanks for that.
No, so
I'm going to start moving people out of the room.
I'm looking at these trade routes, Ocean. I mean, if you could just quicken this because you know where to look, I would appreciate it.
You're probably looking for trade routes in a grander scale than I'm talking about. Across the Pacific, the Polynesians were expanding across the Pacific and colonizing, trading with each other across the island. That's trade routes across the Pacific.
Sumer?
But Sumer wasn't trading into the Pacific.
I know they were trading into the Pacific. Okay, so just to go back,
Sumer's trading with people around them. Those people are trading with people around them. Those people are trading with people around them. Those people are trading with China. I'm not talking about a direct trade with China. You don't think people were trading with each other when civilization began in Sumer?
I think there's a lot of geographical boundaries that were probably not crossed until much later than the 6,000 years. They're looking at language, because that's what's at key here, is the development of language. I think that I'm pretty sure that it can be shown that there are languages that developed entirely independent of any influence from Sumer.
You're saying influence from Sumer in a way that I think you're trying to suggest direct. That's not what I'm saying.
No, I'm not even saying direct influence, just even inspiration.
Right. And what I'm
pretty sure that people figured out how to write things down without having to copy the Sumerians.
Dude, shut up. It's like you ask a question and you don't accept the answer, and then you ask the same question when you were talking over me during the answer, and then you start strawmanning the position when I've made a clarification already. What the fuck is it with you?
Fuck out, man.
No, you chill the fuck
I love this. Oh, I fucking love this. They antagonize you, and then when they fucking antagonize you, they tell you to chill out.
Yes, of course.
Yes, you were. I didn't know you were.
How you would
Antagonizing him. Fucking told you he was antagonized.
Are you that
Well,
like
I always find it real funny because Sumerian is considered
shit?
Sumerian is considered linguistic isolation.
Get the fuck out of here for a second. Good God.
Gus, would you like a bucket of malt?
You bounced him into different room, Ocean.
I'm trying to set that down.
Where were you?
Oh, he's back.
Oh, God.
No, just fucking bounce him. Every single time he talks over you, fucking pitch him out as an abject listen. Fucking teach him by the numbers.
That sounds like a really discounting killing.
So around the same period, Ocean, there were many languages that are considered isolates.
So an Ocean is going to
written language.
condition you to act like a normal person.
I also probably have to take off a little bit.
He has to condition you like a dog because you can't act normal.
So when you're talking alphabetic writing, or even pictographical writing, we have language isolates that then developed into writing systems And to say that, oh, yeah, they heard about there was something called writing from Sumer, it's just fucking stupid.
That's not what I've said. You get that.
Because
That
I asked
must
you
be a farmer.
specific question.
He must be a farmer for the straw that he built.
I asked you specific questions. It's not a straw man. I asked him specific questions I agree with or disagree with. And through those questions, we determined, if you were listening, that Ocean believes that throughout the entire world, Sumer being the first to develop written language, all the other cultures around them, Eurasia, because apparently there were trade routes, that they were inspired to write things down because they heard from somebody who heard from somebody who heard from somebody that maybe you could do that.
And they're saying that there are other languages that are related to the same proto-languages.
Right?
Sanskrit and cuneiform arise around the same time.
There's also Hurrian and Elamite developed into written language.
Not sure about that. There's a few isolates that wind up coming into languages, but I think that they're related to the same proto-languages.
Well, you also have language. You have Linear A and the Cretan hieroglyphs. You have the Crypto-Minoan syllabary that we just don't have enough evidence to construct a complete language from, but that were probably complete written languages.
Saying something that they're a complete written language. That's an assertion that's like, it's unsupportable, right?
It is unsupportable from the evidence, yeah. But I mean, logically speaking, you would assume that with the scant evidence that we have, that much more evidence would have existed and just didn't survive to the present day. For Minoans?
No, with the Minoans.
The Minoans, we know where the Minoans lived.
Kind of a proto-language thing going on, but we know more about them from their art than anything else.
I mean, the Elamites?
The Minoans were doing sculptures. So, they were doing the monumental building thing. But they might not pass as a civilization until later.
Linear Elamite, 3rd millennium BC, predating Sumer.
Are you talking about the Elamites?
Yeah.
Elamites are a mysterious culture that we don't really know much about them.
So they predated Sumer.
But they were probably also kind of a horde culture.
And they had a written language.
Did they?
Been able to decipher it.
I don't know about that. I haven't heard of an Elamite language.
Was it the Minoans that got jumped by people they only identified as the people of the sea?
Yeah. There was a Mediterranean civilization that was jumping people, or a group. That's another group that you wouldn't really be able to call a civilization. They're just like they did what the Vikings did later in the Mediterranean.
Hey, Gus, those people up in the sea, did they have boats?
There's also a proto-hieroglyphic, dated to 3300 BC, which shows that, I mean, because again, being a proto-language, we call it a proto-language because we don't have enough, we can't really construct it, and see that there was this holistic method of communication because we just don't simply have enough surviving evidence.
I thought we called it a proto-language.
With writing. I thought the graphic representation that we have with the Norse, like the Norse examples that I'm familiar with, you have a lot of markings. You don't have a lot of language.
I'm talking about 3300 BC in, they had a wide variety of...
Peace, family. What's going on? I just wanted y'all to hear a little bit of that. I thought the conversation was going to go a little bit further. Normally does, but from what I gathered, I missed all the good stuff. If I'd have got there earlier, they got to hear them get a little bit more in depth as far as their positions on black people. I just wanted y'all to get a glimpse on some of the things that these people say and how they obsess over us. Family. Family, these Europeans obsess over us. Like, seriously. Like, it was 2 black guys in that whole thing, and I was one of them. Another one, Satanist dude. That was it. And what neither one of us talking, and they sat there and they was talking for hours about us. For hours from what they said they was talking for a couple of hours before I even got in about us. Why? That's as good as mine. You know what I'm saying? But they obsess over us. I'm telling you, they literally sit up here and have these type of discussions every day, all day. Like, this is a norm. This is a norm. You know, I said next time I catch him, I was going to, you know, present it live so the family can hear some of this shit. Because some people, you're going to have these little Europeans, excuse me, these little coons, these little nigga snack eating motherfuckers is going to get up here and try to lull your ass to sleep. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of these motherfuckers going to get up here and try to lull you to sleep and convince you that we are just chasing some boogeyman. Like these Europeans don't exist. That we reference. Like more Europe to admit, think exactly like these motherfuckers you just heard. Like what you heard just now was some white liberals debating some white nationalists / race realists. That's the new thing, family. Actually, it ain't new, but you know, it's picking up legs like a motherfucker. You know, I've been arguing. I spent the better half of last year arguing with these race realists. You know, these Europeans that's big on genetics, and all they want to do is talk about how blacks are inherently more stupid than everybody. Start whipping out these stupid ass stats and statistics, and they try to stat you to death. They try to stat you to death, family. Straight up. That's what's going on. And they will sit up here and they'll try to present all these little fallacious arguments to try to support they assumptions, these little stupid ass IQ tests and these IQ numbers that's culturally biased to begin with. Universal about these tests is the math, and that's it. You know, these things, it's insane. And then they try to sit up here, they start bringing up biological tests and everything. Like they really deep into this shit, you know. And like I said, if you take the word race and you take the word realist and you put them together, you're going to get the word racist. That's what you're going to get. So when you hear these people talk about race realism and being a race realist and everything else, what they're really talking about is racism and being a racist. These are code words, family. We have to pay attention. You know, the reason why I'm posting this type of stuff is so y'all can be aware. You know, again, what I talk about ain't bullshit. This shit is real. This shit exists. These motherfuckers are around. And this is what they do. They get in these little, they get in the dark web. They go these little spots where they get to hide out. You know, where they all get to huddle up and just you know, try to rally up the masses. Because what they was trying to do right there, you have some race realists trying to convert some other Europeans that just so happen to be white liberals. But you know, the white liberals was arguing with them a this, that, and the third, and everything else. You know, that's what you heard, and you get a lot of that. You know, because up, especially up in that spot where we was at, because up in that spot where we was just at, I am the only pro-black motherfucker who goes up in there. The only one. So, you know, when I go up in there, they lose their minds because they know I'm not one of these buck dancing ass, shoe shining ass coons who's just going to sit up there and just let them just talk any old type of way. And, you know, I'm going to bang on their ass. They know this. You know what I'm saying? So, like, but again, like I said, this is what they do, though, family. This is what they do. They love to talk about this topic. They love, which is us. They love talking about us. But people for white people. No, it's the other way around. These white people are obsessed with us. I bullshit you not, family. I just showed you what type of dumb shit these motherfuckers are on. How did I find them, shorty? Oh, I found them messing around over at this religious debate community a couple of years ago. I had to find a spot where I could have, you know, a lot of deep, compelling conversations about religion without having to worry about hurting somebody's feelings, you know, because a lot of religious people, when you start talking about their religion and their faith and everything else, you know, a lot of them tend to, you know, get caught up in their feelings, you know, they start, you know, they get wrapped up in their emotions, you know, like people get emotional when you start talking about their God or their faith, you know. So I had to find a spot where that's acceptable. So, you know, I stumbled across a couple of black Christians that I know on here. I stumbled across a couple of them. They was on here for the debate. They was on here looking for the debate. So I was messing around with them, and they was a part of that community. They was actually a part of that community, and that's how I stumbled into that community, was debating these black Christians on here a couple of years ago. And now, you know, yeah, that's pretty much. So I found that community messing around debating religion, and that used to be what the main part of that community was. You still have a section of that community that's still all about religion, but that sector right there that I was just messing with, those are they took it somewhere else. Like once the election started happening last year. Once the election started happening last year and the whole Donald Trump thing started happening and all the protesting and the Black Lives Matter, all that, the community went through something at that point in time where everything just turned into about race, you know, and it started being real toxic around it. Well, especially for a motherfucker like me. You know, I was up in that bitch arguing every day, all day long, banging on motherfuckers. You know, I ain't got no problem banging on that beat. So like, I'm killing these motherfuckers over there. But that's how I stumbled across these people, was through messing around, debating about religion, and then it turned into social issues and everything later. Let's see. Oh, you better believe that listen, let me tell you. Yes. Yes. You can ask them motherfuckers. Ask them. They'll tell you. They'll tell you my reputation. You know what they call me over there? I am the angry racist black guy. That's what they call me. I am the angry racist black guy. That's what they call me to my face. Behind my back, I'm the racist angry nigger. You know what I'm saying? But while I'm there, I'm the angry racist black guy. And that's being real. Peace, muchacha. How you? Peace, Elizabeth. Peace to everybody in the chat. You know? Yeah, but that's what happened right there. And yeah, I've been laughing and joking with these stupid motherfuckers, man, because they are hilarious. They're hilarious because they really believe some of the dumb shit that be flying out of their fucking mouth. And I be catching them contradicting themselves, being all types of hypocrite. Man, I kill these motherfuckers all the time. All the time. It's nothing. I was going to bust up in there and start fucking with them then, but they kept getting into, the conversation was going somewhere else, and I could tell it was about to get into a religious discussion. And I ain't want to bore y'all to death with their religious discussions, because it would have got real philosophical. And yeah, y'all know y'all not trying to hear that, family. I thought they was going to stay on the whole race thing, but they drifted off. Next time I dive in there and they talking about race, I'm gonna air that bitch live so y'all can hear it. Because again, y'all need to hear this, family. Y'all need to hear it, because again, I'm tired of motherfuckers accusing us of motherfucking chasing the boogeyman. I'm sick of it. You know what I'm saying? I sat up there, I'm listening to all these coons and everything else getting interviewed and everything, and these motherfuckers all got the same fucking white racist ass talking points, and they trying to pull the fucking wool over everybody's eyes, just like these stupid ass motherfucking white supremacists. Oh, well, that's really on y'all, and white people don't do this, and white people don't do that, and everything. Oh, really? Really? So you telling me I don't hear what the fuck I be hearing? Really? You telling me this whole sector of fucking online don't fucking exist? Really? Really? You gonna tell me websites like 4chan don't motherfucking exist with their little Pepe Frog logo? You really? You gonna tell me racist ass motherfucking websites like Reddit don't motherfucking exist? You gonna tell me motherfuckers like Stormfront don't motherfucking exist? Motherfuckers is bugging out. But I got these little coons up here making it seem like we're bugging. I'm watching the motherfucking Cynthia G. show yesterday. Cynthia G. She had a hangout with this. I keep forgetting this bitch name. Bernie something of another. How the chick named Bernie? That's disturbing all in itself. But I digress. Name could be Bernadette. I don't know. But she calls herself Bernie. It's just weird. But anyway, chick named Bernie. Some little coon chick. I don't even know where she lived at. I know she cooning it up wherever she's at. I know the chick sat up there, made all types of dumbass motherfucking videos. Y'all probably, if y'all heard the show last night, y'all heard us talking about it. Y'all probably heard some of the clips. Chick sat up there making all types of stupid ass gestures about how she don't care about slavery, how this didn't happen and that didn't really happen, and slavery is all in our head, and she was a bad. Just cooning it up for nigga snacks. Just cooning it up real bad. And I was just like, and she just sitting up here just blaming us for everything. Blaming us and caping for the oppressor. Victim blaming. Then it was disgusting. So it's just like I gotta debunk this shit. I gotta show people that these motherfuckers really is out here. Because you got people like that who's really trying to lose the sleep. And them motherfuckers who sit up here and don't know no fucking better will believe that crap. We'll believe it. I'm not going to sit up here and tell my people that that blue pill is fine to take. No, it's not fine to take. Get the fuck off the blue pill. Stop trying to lull our people to fucking sleep. No, she didn't say slavery didn't happen. She said certain parts of slavery didn't happen, like the families getting ripped apart. Cynthia G was making a point about how the families was getting ripped apart during slavery. You know, ripping the kids from the family, ripping the women away from the families, the men, everything else, splitting them up and selling them to other plantations, breaking the families apart. She mentioned how that happened and she denied it. She said that never happened. She said the families was always together during slavery. This is what this dumb bird said. It was disgusting. Oh, hell no, muchacha. No, muchacha, please. Come on, you know you can't put those shits away, man. Why you think we gonna go into business? Why you think we gonna go into business, muchacha? We gonna go into the nigga snack business. Why? Because it's profitable. It's profitable, man. Come on, muchacha, you know that. Stop playing. Up here trying to share the chat. Okay, there you go. All right, is it working? It ain't working. All right, well, fuck it. Can't share the chat right now, family. But anyways, yeah, the nigga snap business is very profitable, family. Very profitable. That's money right there. Money for us. These motherfuckers want to cape for nigga snacks. We gonna make these motherfuckers get on you. They gonna give all that YouTube money they getting for fucking cooning it up. They gonna give it right back to us. It's all gonna come right back to us, family. We gonna run game on these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? They wanna coon it up for nigga snacks. Well, we gonna make money off of it then. Fuck it. We gonna make money off your coonery. That's exactly what we're gonna do. Sick of you goddamn coons. I can't take you motherfuckers. That's all y'all good for. Make money off of you. If I can't make money off of you, you ain't good for shit else. You're worthless. You're worthless to the fucking community. You're worthless to me. You're worthless to yourself. You're worthless. Be ashamed of yourself. That's right. 24/7, 365. Motherfuckers. Coons, y'all motherfuckers gotta buy that shit full price. And on retail, motherfuckers. No wholesale for you motherfuckers. I'll sell it to the Europeans wholesale, motherfuckers. But you cooning ass motherfuckers, y'all gotta pay retail. You sons of bitches. Get y'all asses out of here. What's going on, family? Let's see. Black people, slavery was backwards. They get Negro, Indians, America. Slavery was backwards. I'm not about to get. You must believe we be indigenous to this country. I hear you. You know, I hear you, man. I don't necessarily subscribe to that, but I hear you. Word up, muchacha, full price. I ain't playing with these motherfuckers, man. These motherfuckers, fuck that. I'll get a master's wholesale though. I'll get a master's wholesale. Your master, he can get wholesale. They gonna keep cutting back everything wholesale. You race traders, y'all can go fuck yourselves. I'll turn you motherfuckers around. We're a distributor. You cannot buy in bulk here. Sorry. See, what else happened this week, family, besides that crazy ass motherfucking New Possibilities had an interview earlier this week too with another, I like to say, coon. Go ahead and call it what it is. She's a goddamn coon. Big tower woman. We know how them big tower women could be. But she's big tower. And she's straight coon. And just bashing black men the entire time. You know these big tower women, they are master finger pointers. They are master finger pointers. They have, big tower women have mastered the art of finger pointing. They mastered that art. They will point your ass to death. To death. Point. Poke the shit out of your ass. They will poke you to your, boy, they'll poke holes in your ass. Them some finger pointing motherfuckers. And an entire fucking interview was motherfuckers just her just pointing the finger at black men about everything. About everything. Didn't blame the white man about nothing. Every time New Possibilities tried to explain how this is direct effects of white supremacy and all this, right? Nope. She wasn't hearing it. She didn't give a fuck about all that. Point, motherfuckers. And her bad relationships and everything else. Oh, it's not her fault. Talk about systematic numbers and stats and everything else. And why black women is the way they are and everything else, this, that, and the third. But when we do the same thing about black people as a whole, as far as white supremacy goes, she didn't want to hear that. She wanted motherfucking black men to take responsibility and not worry about what white supremacy is doing. Well, let me tell you this then. Why don't you try taking a personal accountability of what your motherfucking bad decisions have done for you in your life? Why don't you take personal responsibility and stop trying to whip out systematic stats and numbers about how you ain't got these choices and that choice and all this whole other stupid ass fucking rhetoric you are spewing? Why don't you try to act? Boy, it's a good thing I wasn't up in that motherfucking hangout. Boy, I wanted to respond to everything that she was fucking saying. Oh my goodness. It was insane. And it is funny to hear these coons regurgitate some of these racist talking points, because that's all they doing is just regurgitating what they heard in a video or something. See, the problem with getting your information off these little pseudo intellectuals up on here who sit up here and come up with these little faulty ass fucking talking points with they jaded ass stats and numbers. The problem with regurgitating this crap is that's all you know how to do. Is regurgitate other people's words, because you don't even understand the talking points that you are using. Because the second you get presented with counter arguments, you don't know how to respond to those counter arguments, because this ain't your argument. This is somebody else's argument that you're trying to use. So therefore, when somebody hits you with a counter argument, you are stuck. You don't know how to respond. That's when you start trying to build a straw man argument. That's when you want to move the goalposts. That's when you want to sit up here and try to change the subject. And that's all that female did up in motherfucking New Possibilities Hangout, was just kept moving the goalposts. She kept throwing an ass load of shit at the wall to see what's see what's stuck. And anything that seemed like it was staying on the wall, she gunned for. This is how you treat these coons, though. You challenge these motherfuckers on their bullshit ass talking points. Hit their ass with some facts and some arguments that they can't motherfucking deny, and you make them stay on topic. Don't allow them to move the goalposts and dictate shit, because they learned that trick from these stupid ass white nationalists and these white racists that taught them these talking points. Use these talking points, drop the mic, and then just walk off and don't motherfucking respond to any counter arguments. If they try to hit you with a counter argument, throw something else at them. If they try to counter argument that, throw something else at them. Just keep throwing stuff at them till they can't respond anymore, or they get tired of responding and then declare victory. These motherfuckers never answer questions. They never stay on top. Oh, man, listen. Ooh, boy, listen. It's a way to handle these coons. You got to handle these coons the same way you handle these white nationalists, man. No mercy. Don't look at these coons the same way as if you arguing with one of your brothers and sisters. No, you got to treat these motherfuckers like these nationalists. You got to treat these motherfuckers exactly the same way you treat these nationalists. You show them no mercy. You show them no mercy, you go straight for the jugular. That's what you do, family. That's what you do. Don't play no games with these motherfuckers. That's real. Yeah, that's real. He who owns the gold makes the rules. That's the old saying. That's real, Elizabeth. That's real. Unfortunately, that's just how it goes. Hence why we have to get our wealth up. Because until we do, we're always going to be perceived this way. We're always going to be looked at this way. We're always going to be treated this way. Like second, third class citizens. To the point where we have our own people hating ourselves. Hating ourselves, family. It's sad. It's so sad to see. When I hear these stupid ass motherfuckers and you just voice, they hate their skin. They hate their hair. They hate their lips. They hate their nose. They hate everything about themselves. It's crazy. Crazy. I don't know, man. And it just fucks me up when I see this. It doesn't surprise me, but it still fucks me up. Because again, I wasn't raised like that. It just makes me wonder, how was these people raised? It really does, man. Like, I don't know, man. I don't get it. How do you hate yourself like that? Get up on here, like, see what's going on. White people, what is that? White people, aka Pinky the Brain, believe in. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. That's why it's that's why that you're gonna about to get me down a whole nother avenue. I feel you, muchacha. White people, aka Pinky the Brain, only believe in God we trust and gold, oil, and drugs. Yeah. God we trust equal gold, oil, and drugs. Yes. Yeah, they don't. Man, listen. Europeans don't really believe in no God, man. You got some of them that believe in God and believe in God. Even the ones that say they believe in God don't really believe in fucking God. Europeans don't get. They know better. They don't really believe in that shit. They really don't. You got some that do. Most of them give a fuck. Minorities be really tripping over gods and deities. You got some Southerners that give a fuck. Them motherfuckers give a fuck. Like down the Bible Belt. Up here, not so much the case. Shit, you even got Europeans in the Bible Belt that think that shit is bullshit. They all ain't sold on it in the Bible Belt either. Truth be fucking told, I know a whole bunch of atheists that live in the fucking South. That's Europeans. So they all ain't sold on it down there either. They feed us that bullshit, but they won't believe it. Now, like I said, you do have some down there in the South, like the Klan. The Klan definitely believe that crap. They believe that crap. Exactly, muchacha. These motherfuckers sit up here and try to teach us that Jesus is all this, that, and the third, everything else, and they do the shit they do. And then try to convince us that we supposed to motherfucking take the high road because that's what Jesus would want us to do. Motherfucker, then what the fuck Jesus wants you to do, motherfucker? Jesus wants you to fuck us over because he knows that we're just going to listen to him and take the high road? Telling me. This is what you're telling me. You're telling me Jesus is two-faced. You're telling me Jesus is a phony-ass motherfucker. Because according to you, Jesus is omniscient. Jesus knows everything. He knows the future, motherfucker. So if Jesus knew you was going to screw me, Jesus knew you was going to screw me over, and Jesus knew that you was going to tell us that we're supposed to take the high road because that's what he would want us to do. Jesus knew all this shit. Jesus didn't stop it. So you're telling me Jesus is two-faced. That's what you're telling me. Because you're telling me Jesus gave you the okay to fuck us over. That's what you're telling me. Jesus wants us to take the fucking high road. Well, tell Jesus to get his ass down here and take it. Taking the fucking high road then, motherfucker. How about that? He the one who set us the fuck up. Make it right. Make it right. Two-faced motherfucker. Make it right. He won't do that though, will he? Jesus would want us to take the high road. The high road. We always got to take the high road. We always got to turn the other motherfucking cheek. It's disgusting. Fuck we turn the other cheek for. We turned the other cheek when we got smacked in the other one. We turned the other fucking cheek. You want me to turn the other cheek so you can smack that side too? When the fuck I get to start smacking people who fuck around? After I'm dead? After I'm dead, I get liberation? I gotta wait till I die, motherfucker? I gotta wait till I die to get liberation. So let's sit back, hold tight, wait for your death. That's what motherfuckers be trying to convince you. Wait for your death and you will get liberation for an eternity. This is what they tell you. I'm not making this shit up. This is what they tell you. You will have eternal liberation after death. Don't worry about the earth, the earthly earth. Don't worry about the worldly world. No, don't worry about that. You caught up in the worldly world. That's what they'll tell you. You're caught up in the worldly world. Don't worry about these Europeans. Jesus will get them later. They will all have to see judgment. Well, shit, according to our luck, according to our luck, if these motherfuckers ever had to go motherfucking face Jesus at Judgment Day, it'll be a mistrial. It will fuck around and be a holy mistrial. If we had to wait for these motherfuckers to seek judgment. Why am I supposed to believe? Why should I believe that these motherfuckers will finally see judgment on Judgment Day? I have no evidence to believe this. How do you motherfuckers know that God would even motherfucking convict these motherfuckers? What if the interpretation of the Bible is correct? What if they was justified to put us in fucking slavery? What if that is what the fuck they was trying to say in the fucking Bible? And they did everything according to scripture. And you motherfuckers all read it wrong. Then what? Then what the fuck is going to happen on Judgment Day? When they get acquitted, getting convicted is us. What if that's the case? Y'all ever thought about that? Of course y'all didn't. Of course y'all didn't, because that would be y'all questioning y'all book. And y'all won't question that. Same. We gotta, like, when are we gonna stop waiting for death? When are we gonna stop waiting for death, family? When? Can somebody tell me that one? Because that's what we've been doing for centuries. Wait, death. Somebody told you motherfuckers. Me too. They told me this shit too. They told that death is going to be better than life. That's what motherfuckers told us. They told us death is going to be better than life. Once you fall into that, once you subscribe to that thought process, you have then turned yourself into a mindless zombie. You're just going through the motions at that point. This life don't mean shit. You just going through the motions. You're living this life like it's a punishment. You're living this life like you're being punished. And after death, your punishment will be over. As long as you follow these rules. This is what they tell you, family. I'm not making this shit up. Oh, they don't use those exact words. But when you remove all the bullshit and all the motherfucking, all the word semantics and everything else, that's ultimately what the fuck they telling you. People just don't like to hear it that way because it sounds too harsh and abrupt. But that's what the fuck is going on. I'm just telling you what was told to me. This is what was promised to everybody. Because if you wasn't promised a special eternal life after death, you wouldn't even waste your time believing in fucking God. None of y'all out there would believe in God if you wasn't promised eternal life after death. If they told you after you died, all you got was a ham sandwich and that was it, that's all God had planned for you after death was a ham sandwich, y'all wouldn't give a fuck about God. Y'all wouldn't give a shit about God if he was only promised you a ham sandwich after death. Let's be real. Which brings me back to something else I want to talk about. You need to stop playing these games about Jesus is about love. God is about love. Love this and love that. Not about love. You do not love. You are not believing in God because you love God. That's a lie. That's a trick that you played on yourself. You convinced yourself that you believe in God because you love God. No, you don't love God. None of y'all out there love God. You guys fear God. You fear God. Without the fear of God, again, y'all would not care about God. If you didn't fear what God might do to you after death, then you wouldn't believe him. Even if you did believe him, you wouldn't care about him if you did not fear him. But every last one of y'all fear God. Y'all don't love God. Y'all don't love God. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. Y'all are scared and y'all are afraid of God. Y'all afraid of God. Let's be real here. Without the fear of God, God don't exist in nobody's head. God needs to be feared, or else he goes away. He vanishes. That's God's best power. God's best power is fear. It wasn't creating the galaxy. It wasn't creating man out of fucking dirt. Wasn't creating women from ribs. Wasn't being sacrificed and coming back as a zombie. It was none of that. His greatest power is fear. Because without fear, God does not exist. This wouldn't even be a debate. It wouldn't even be a discussion. Wouldn't nobody even care. Wouldn't nobody care. It's the fear of God, not the love of God, that has you guys believing in God. You know, I've had discussions with theists where I broke them all the way down to the point where I shook their faith a little bit, I think. And honestly, that's never really my goal. But I could tell their faith might have been a little bit shook or whatever. But it got to the point where they just, like, again, they started bringing up these fallacies. They started bringing up the whole, well, if I'm wrong, then fuck it, I'm just wrong. I still live my life and everything else at third, and I'm just wrong and you just right. No harm, no foul, right? And if you're wrong, you're gonna burn in hell for eternity and everything else and blah 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 blah. You know, Occam's razor, right? So I'm like, all right, you know, that's one way of looking at it, I guess. But at the end of the day, it's a whole bunch of things behind that. Outside the obvious, that how do you know that your religion is the right religion? You understand what I'm saying? Like this is like you're playing roulette. How you know it's gonna land on 18 black? There's a whole bunch of other slots over here. You throwing all your money on one thing. You like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? So that's outside that. You know, it speaks volumes, because again, it showed that it immediately went to the fear. Like, well, I don't want to say that he might not be real because he's going to do something to me if I'm wrong. Like, he's going to do something to me. Like, it's the fear. It's the fear. You know, like, it has nothing to do with the love. It's like, they don't say, well, I don't want to say he's not real because he might not love me anymore, or he might, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's not that same thing. It goes immediately to fear. It don't go to, well, I don't want to hurt his feelings or something like that or whatever. You know, like, that's love. You know, like, I don't want to hurt his feelings or whatever. No, it's none of that. It goes straight to the fear factor. Oh, well, I don't want him to do something to me. I don't want to burn in hell. I don't want to do it. I don't want to. No, fuck that. You trying to get me to burn. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just clicks in. You know, and it's like, again, it's just a fear. Like, I psychoanalyze all this shit. I psychoanalyze all this, and I hear people when they talk about their faith and they try to pull the wool over my eyes with the love thing, and that shit just be bugging me out. And I be sitting here like, first of all, I don't believe God loves motherfuckers. Not the God of the Bible, not that guy. That Abrahamic God, that monolithic God that the Quran speaks of, that the Old Testament speaks of, and the New speaks of. I don't care what interpretation you got of this motherfucker. Ain't nothing love. That guy's an egotistical, narcissistic maniac. That's what that guy is. I don't know what guy y'all guys be reading about. I know what I read. That guy right there is batshit crazy. Nothing logical makes any sense about that guy. Nothing. He is incoherent. Nothing makes sense about him. I mean, just look. I mean, it's the dumbest. Like, do you guys ever try to literally, like, I don't understand how Bible fundamentalists like can read this and try to make sense of it. And I'm not even talking about the far-fetched wild shit, like, you know, like the talking snakes and the donkeys and all that shit, everything else. Let's get past all that. I'm just talking about the stories as a whole and how they accumulate and how none of this shit makes any fucking sense. Like the thought process behind it makes absolutely no sense, especially for somebody who's supposed to be omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient, all-powerful being that's internal. It makes absolutely no sense. It just doesn't. It makes no sense. It's logically incoherent. That guy right there, that guy, yeah, he's crazy. That guy's crazy. I'm going off the stories in your book. That's what I'm going off of. He's crazy. Something's wrong with him. I don't even understand how the hell can Yahweh, Yahshua, whatever the fuck you want to call this son of a bitch, Yeshua, whatever, Yahweh, whatever the fuck you want to call him, Jesus, whatever. I don't know how this man even has emotions. Why would God have emotions? What that is a character flaw. Having emotions is a character flaw, and God is supposed to be flawless. He's supposed to be perfection. If he has emotions, he is not perfection. He has flaws. Can we admit that? It's nothing. I mean, why would God be jealous? That is one of his own evils. That is a sin. Jealousy is a sin, but God gets jealous. Think about that, family. God is a sinner, but nobody calls him out on it. By his own rules, God is a sinner. I'm not slandering him. I'm going off what is being said in the book that's supposed to be, you know, inspired by his words. This is what I'm basing it off of. I bullshit you not, family. He is a sinner. Now, a sinner is going to damn people forever for committing sins. So that would also make him a hypocrite. He's egotistical. He demands that he is the only one who gets attention and nobody else. He's narcissistic. These are all facts, family. I challenge motherfuckers to tell me I'm lying, because I'll pull up your own scriptures to prove you're wrong. These are all character flaws. So nobody can tell me that God is perfect. Nobody. Do as I say, not as I do, ass motherfucking God. That's what Yahweh is. That's what he is. Do as I say, not as I do. I'm sorry. I got a problem with a sinner damning other sinners to eternal hell. I got a problem with that. Maybe y'all don't. I do. Whatever. I said it. I said, yo, if there's ever a judgment day, I promise you, I'm not going to be that guy that y'all think. I know some of y'all think, oh, I wonder what atheists will do on judgment day and everything else. Boy, I swear, if it was a judgment day, I'll say, oh, shit. I guess he is real. Okay, fuck it. Let's do it. I'll wait and let long as I'll be sitting there. I wouldn't be able to wait to get to the front. Questions. Oh, I got questions. I'm not going to sit up there and tuck my tail. Run. I ain't going to cry. I'm not going to beg for forgiveness. None of that. I got questions. Before you dare me to hell, can you answer some questions for me? I want to know a few things. That way I could be tormented. At least I'll know what the hell I'm being tormented. I got some questions for you, son. You know what I'm saying? You know how the motherfuckers say, you got any last words before I give you your sentences? Yeah, I got some last words, all right. I got some last words for you. I'm going to tell you about yourself. I'm going to tell you about yourself. I mean, what's he going to do? Burn me in hell for an eternity? I already got that coming. Just for not believing in him. Fuck my work. Fuck what I did in my life. Now, that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Did you donate to the collection plate, motherfucker? That's what he want to know. Did you praise my name on the Sabbath, motherfucker? That's what he want to know. Did you shave your beard? And if so, why, motherfucker? Why? Up. Take your ass downstairs, motherfucker. That's what he going to tell me. Did you wear your garments? Did you wear your proper garments? Did you have your fez going? Let me know, motherfucker. Did you sacrifice anybody lately? Take your ass downstairs then, motherfucker. That's what he want to know. He fuck everything else. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, I'm talking about that guy. Shit, Kia, Yahweh killed children. Yahweh killed children. He killed all the Egyptians firstborn. They did nothing. They ain't had the Egyptians firstborn ain't had nothing to do with nothing. He wiped them out. Wiped them out. Innocent children. Wiped them out. All the Egyptians, firstborn, all of them. Get them out of here. Why? Because some dumbass motherfucking Pharaoh didn't want to let Moses' people go. I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. Like I said, he's a sinner. He's a sinner. Thou shalt not kill, yet he kills. He is a sinner. God is no more of a sinner than you. If he wants you to believe that you're a fucking sinner, guess what? That will make him a sinner also, according to his own definition of what a sinner is. according to his own definition. You're not the only sinners. He is too. He's not perfect. He's not perfection. I think I just proved that. Like I said, the God of the Abrahamic God, is incoherent. He's incoherent. A friend was asking me before to explain the deist God to her. The deist God is the only God that actually might make a little bit of sense. God, the Bible don't make no fucking sense. God, the Quran, they all the same. But God, that God makes no sense. No sense whatsoever. Now, if you start talking to me about a deist God, I still don't believe it, but I can listen a little bit more. Deist God a little bit different. He's not incoherent. The deist God is not incoherent, but the Abrahamic gods are. Oh, here we go. Now, what the fuck this is. The deist God just, he just came around, he kind of got everything in motion. Believed the deist God started the Big Bang and kind of just let everything just take place, run its course. He doesn't interfere or have interactions with humans. He doesn't sit up here, he doesn't give, he doesn't project his words into humans to write down and say it was inspired by God. He don't do all that madness and everything else. He kind of doesn't really give a fuck. He kind of just got everything in motion, and that was it. And he don't talk to nobody. He don't say shit, nothing. He's kind of just off doing his own thing. You understand? That's what the deist God is. That God, I don't believe that either. But at least that God is coherent. It's the only God to me that's coherent. Again, I don't believe it, but it's the only one that's kind of rational. It's about as rational as you can be when you're talking about this topic. But these laws are laws made for man. Said these are a new way. These are laws that was made by man, for man. I believe these are laws made for man, but they was made by man. And they was told that these are laws made by a deity. And they was told that they was laws made by a deity to make people not question it. Because if they was told that these laws were made by man, people will question it. People overthrow governments and shit like that. People go against tyrannies and shit like that. They overthrow governments, royalty gets overthrown and everything. But if these people are told that these laws was made by a deity, and they know that these people fear this deity, and they won't question it, and they will fall in line. It's mind control. That's what the God concept is. It's all about mind control. I mean, it's a reason why cults take off the way they do, is because they get in people's head. People wonder how these people get involved in cults and everything, because once you get in somebody's head, you got them. You got them. You got them. All you have to do is get somebody's mind, and the rest of the body will fall. That's what the God concept is. That's why all these cults always have some deity. It always starts off with some special deity like Yahweh, and then it transforms into that person being a divine source connection with that actual deity or whatever. Then that person becomes the face, and that person becomes the actual deity and the person that's getting worshipped and everything. It's all about mind control. That's what the God concept is all about. That's what it's always been. That's what it's always been. It's all about mind control. And the easiest way to control people is to have them believe that it's something greater out there than them that they need to fear, and you are the only person who can protect them with your truth. And there's no way to disprove it. There's no way to do it. It's just a wild ass claim that can't even really be disproven. It's unfalsifiable. If I told you motherfuckers that I was chilling here, smoking some weed, playing spades, and eating some baby back ribs, can none of y'all prove me wrong? Y'all might not believe me. Y'all might call me crazy, as you probably should. But you couldn't prove me wrong. You could just say, you just gonna be saying that I'm wrong. Prove it. I take a picture and you see the baby back ribs, me smoking a blunt, and me playing cards, but there's nobody sitting in the chair. You're gonna say, see, look. And I'm gonna say, look, what do you mean? He's right there. And you're gonna say, I don't see nobody sitting. I'm gonna say, exactly, he's a ghost. See how I'm going? It's unfalsifiable. How do you prove me wrong at that point? How do you know it's not a ghost sitting there? You can't prove it. It's my word against yours. Crazy, but you can't prove me wrong. That's what God is. I'm the person calling everybody crazy, and y'all the ones at the table in there with nobody on the other end of the chair saying, prove me wrong. And I can't prove you wrong. I can just tell you got lack of evidence. You sitting there in an empty chair is not proof that there's a ghost there. But again, I can't undeniably prove that there's not a ghost there. All I can say is I don't see enough evidence to lead me to believe that there's a ghost sitting in that chair. But that's what God is. That's what I'm telling you. That y'all sitting there playing spades with Yahweh, smoking weed, and I don't believe it. That's what's going on right now. That's the whole problem with the God concept. It's unfalsifiable. You cannot prove that there's not an imaginary guy in the sky sending people to hell, upstairs, downstairs, wherever the case may be, after death. How do you prove that? I can't die and then come back to life and say, yo, I just came upstairs real quick to let y'all know this shit is real. And it's hot than a motherfucker down there. Don't end up going down this motherfucker. I'm telling you. I can't do that. So how do I falsify this? All I can do is let y'all know y'all have lack of evidence. I don't have no reason to believe it. It's too perfect. It's too perfect of a scam. It's laid out too perfect. God is conveniently absent, but conveniently always there. It's too perfect of a scam. This con is too perfect. You can't lay a better con out than that. And it's too perfect of a con for me not to call bullshit. Because if a real God existed, it wouldn't be this fucking difficult to know that he is real or not. He would at least make himself known to be at least real, especially if he was as egotistical as the God in the Bible. He would absolutely want you to know he exists, because he would absolutely want you to praise him. You know what I mean? But you know, that I'm just telling y'all how I see shit, family. You know, this is just This is where, you know, like my mind's always been here, man. Like this again, I always question these stories for that reason right there. Like it's too perfect. It's the perfect con. It's the perfect con. Because nobody can disprove it. Nobody can disprove it, but nobody can prove it either. You know, so it's kind of like your word against mine. That's pretty much what you're going to live life with when it comes to this God concept. Your word against mine. You say it's real, I'm calling bullshit. And that's pretty much what it's going to be all about until and nobody's going to know what's real, what's not real. Unless it's like, well, if it's real, you're going to know because you're going to be there on Judgment Day. So you will know then, right? But if it's not real, you're never going to know because you're dead. You know, like you ain't even going to be conscious to realize that this shit was bullshit because you're dead. You're not conscious anymore. You know, your thoughts are it's done. That's it. At that point, you're worm food. You know, like so it's like, you know, you just died believing that you was about to go somewhere, never went, but it didn't even, at the end of the day, you ain't even realize it was bullshit because, again, not conscious. It's the perfect con. It's the perfect con. If it wasn't the perfect con, it wouldn't have been going this long. It wouldn't have been this many thousands of years running. No. How do you explain how humans came to existence if there is no God? Well, you already know how I believe that, friend. I believe in abiogenesis and evolution and all that. He's not human, don't get mad. I know how I know. I know that spirit, Kia. I believe in spirit. We all have spirit. You know, spirit. You know what spirit is, right? Spirit is an old Greek word, Kia. It's an old Greek word, and it's an old Greek word, and it actually stands for breath. The air in your lungs, that is your spirit. We all have spirit. You know, once you lose your spirit, you're dead. You know, you die without your spirit. You know, you don't have no air in your lungs anymore. You don't have any more breath in your body. You're dead. So without your spirit, you're dead. So yeah, we all have spirit. I believe that. That I believe, but you know, by the purest sense of the word. Yes, absolutely. But what if this scam seems so perfect because it just is? That is this God, this Abrahamic God that most of our people believe in. That's why I always go in on the Abrahamic gods because mainly that's the main God that our people believe in. Again, he's incoherent. He should make it to the point where we did not have to question his existence. We should not have to question his existence. Now, if people want to follow him or not, that's a whole different story. But his actual existence, like whether or not he actually exists, that shouldn't even be in question. He should let that be known. That should be known. And it shouldn't be known through word of mouth. It should be known through him. Him, not through third party, through him. You know, and we shouldn't have to wait until after death to actually, you know, get answers or find out things, or actually be able to speak to him or whatever the case may be. I shouldn't have to sit up here and beg to talk to him and do all this other stuff and everything else. He should already speak to me. And anybody else who questions his existence. He should. Why is he only speaking to people that already believe in him? They already believe in you. You don't need to talk to them. They already believe in you. That's just an echo chamber. At that point, At that point, it's just an echo chamber. You just talking to a bunch of people that already believe. So what's the point? If you want everybody to believe in you, you're supposed to go talking to the people that don't believe in you and convincing them. That's supposed to be your target. You ain't, and I'm not talking about getting your little soldiers, your little minions to go reach out to the non-believers. Nah. I'm looking for. You got the answers I'm looking for. I want you to kick it with me. I want to interview you. You got the answers I'm looking for. You know what I mean? He's supposed to be reaching out to me. I don't want to hear he had conversations with people that already believe in him. I don't care about those conversations. Those are private conversations between y'all and Yahshua or whoever, Yahweh, Yeshua, whoever. That's private conversations amongst y'all. He needs to kick it with me. He needs to convince me. And don't tell me his job is to convince me, because if his job is to convince me, he wouldn't be sitting up here writing in the Bible that everybody needs to preach to me and try to convince me that he's real. So he wants me to believe in him. So if he wants me to believe in him, according to your scriptures, he needs to do it. He needs to kick it with me. That's what I'm saying. No need. Again, there's no need to talk to people who already believe in you. There's no need. There's no need. If I'm sitting up here, why would I try to convince the people in the chat right now that white supremacy exists if y'all already believe white supremacy exists? I mean, we can talk about white supremacy and the effects of white supremacy, everything else, but I'm pretty much preaching to the choir when I'm talking to you guys. Because we all in agreement that white supremacy exists. Right? Now, if my job is trying to convince people that white supremacy exists, you guys ain't the people I'll need to be talking to. I need to go talk to some white nationalists who don't believe that white supremacy exists or denies it. I need to go talk to some coons who denies that white supremacy exists if I'm trying to spread the message that white supremacy actually do exist. To the choir for that. It's too much preaching to the choir going on within this whole God concept. When you gonna start preaching to motherfuckers like me? And I ain't talking about you guys. I'm talking about him. The one and only. When is he gonna chop it up with me? When is he going to convince me? It's been a long time and he ain't convinced me yet. Again, talk to me, son. Type it in the chat. Type it in the chat if you want. I don't care. You want to come in the hangout? I'll give you the link. Matter of fact, I ain't got to give you the link. You're God. You got the link already. Come up in here, chop it up with me. One-on-one conversation, everybody can hear. If you want, we can go off air, we can talk in private. I'd rather it be recorded in public so people see that I ain't tripping. Pray to him and he will come. Hey, Fred, I tried that. You know, I tried that as a kid. Because I was told that ever since I was a kid. You need to pray to him and he will come to you. Pray to him and he will come to me. Okay, all right, I'll try that. Pray to him a whole lot. To the point where I thought I was doing something wrong, friend. I thought I was doing something wrong. I was like, I ain't doing this right. This shit don't work. You know what I mean? You know how you shake a toy like something ain't right. The shit ain't working right. This shit ain't working right. I'm up here shaking myself like I ain't doing it right. Shit ain't working. Fuck is going on here? Nothing. So, hey, Then I have people, then when I tell people this, they tell me, well, that's because you ain't believing him when you was praying. So wait, I gotta believe that he exists when I pray to him in order for him to talk to me. That's what you're saying? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Get the fuck out of here. I mean, hold on. Wait. Time out, motherfuckers. Time's it on out. So I gotta brainwash myself and convince myself that this guy actually exists before he talks to me. So in other words, we're right back to the whole preaching to the choir concept. So pretty much I got to get down with the choir in order for him to preach to me. That's not that again, see, we get perfect scam. We getting back to the perfect scam shit again. Because you're telling me I got to brainwash myself in order for him to talk to me. I like, no. Into him, whether I believe in him or not, if I'm praying to him, he should reach out to me more so than the people, again, that already believe in him. Because I'm the one in more of a dire need of his attention. Because I'm questioning his existence. So he needs to holler at me. So I can confirm that he actually exists. When you hear your heart is fertile, he will surprise your socks off. I hear you, man. I've been hearing all this stuff my whole life. I've been hearing all this stuff. You know, we got to do this. I got to do that and everything. All this other. Give yourself up to him and everything. And blah, blah, blah. And people try to baptize me and everything. And it's that I never went through with it. Never felt comfortable with that, man. It always felt like it was some spooky stuff going on. And I was like, they trying to do some witchcraft on me. So I don't know what the heck going on. It just spooked me out when I was a kid. Like, they got to dip your body in water and everything. You got to hold your breath, dip your body in water backwards and all that. They're like, what? They got to do what? And do and what? And read what? Well, I'm under what? Why? Because they got to cleanse you and clean you everything. Motherfucker, I took a shower before I went to church. The fuck is you talking about? No, fuck all. Nope. Fuck all act. I don't know. That shit sound crazy. That shit sound crazy. So you mean tell me when they dip me in the water backwards and everything else and cleanse me and everything, am I going to be one of these people up in this aisles that's running around hooting and hollering and catching the Holy Ghost? I'm going to turn to one of them? I'm good. I'm telling you, man, that Holy Ghost thing used to freak me out as a kid. That thing, that Holy Ghost thing terrified me. I'm like, what the hell is going on up in here? I'm surrounded by spirits and ghosts, and the hell is going, and everybody just standing there just clapping. Motherfuckers is flailing all over the place, waving their arms. Praise Jesus. Praise Jesus. Love him. Flare their arms, looking like they're having a seizure. Motherfuckers is like laying them down and like fanning them and everything else, and everybody is still just happy. Music still playing. Motherfuckers was still singing. And I got another motherfucker over here right next to me doing the same shit. And they jumping in the middle aisle. And now they fanning this one. It's like, and everybody is still clapping and still singing. And I'm like, what the fuck am I? What did I just step into? I got to get the hell. I'm tapping my man whose church it just so happened to be in. I'm tapping him like, yo, do you see this? Like, the fuck? And like, oh, don't worry about that. That's just they just catching the Holy Ghost. The Holy what? the Holy Ghost. Hold up, is ghosts in there? Yeah, where? The Holy Ghost, it takes over their body, and they just you know they feel the spirit, and they just go, and that's what they do, and they start talking in tongues and everything. They do what? What talking in tongues? What the fuck is talking in tongues? The fuck is that? This is what? Hold up, is this normal? Oh yeah, this happens every week. That one right there was just sitting next to you. She might do it. She might do it again before the day's over. She do it about 2-3 times a day. Like what? Yo, I'm out. I'm out. I'm about to go to the store, get me some candy, and hang outside till this shit is over. I'm out. That's exactly what the fuck I did. Went outside in my suit and tie and all that other church clothes. Went to the corner store, got me some candy, and I stood outside. Give me a bunch of annihilators and peanut chews until the church was over. I wasn't going back inside that crazy ass spooky spot. I don't know what the hell was that crap. Our motherfuckers is crazy. I love, man, that shit. That shit freaked me out, family. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm telling you real shit, family. That shit freaked me out. I could, that Holy Ghost crap. I ain't about to like, yeah, you gonna baptize you. You ain't gonna baptize me with that Holy Ghost crap. No, keep that crap away from me, man. I'm good. I'm good. If that's what that shit do, I don't know. No. No. Oh, I'm listening. I answer any of y'all questions. I'll answer your question. Let me know what your question is. I remember once I was at church, I saw this brother calling himself speaking in tongues. That fool was looking out the side of his eyes to see who was watching. Yup, and acting. Exactly, Fran. Exactly. Yeah, that Holy Ghost. What is this? What is this? Ain't, come on, man. This ain't real. What is this? When I was a kid, that shit spooked me out. That shit spooked me out as a kid. I didn't know what the hell. He's talking about ghosts inside the room. I'm like, ghosts? I thought I was in church. I thought if I ain't protected from ghosts in church, then what the hell? Then I'm assed out. I'm getting the hell out of here. You know, ghosts jumping up at me, motherfucker. Shit. It won't be that kind of party. Moms kick my ass. I bring ghosts home with me and shit. Let me try to bring a ghost home with me. My mom's would have beat the shit out of me. What the hell you doing bringing this ghost home with you? You ain't had no ghosts when you left, motherfucker. You gonna come home with some ghosts? Get that shit the hell out my house. Oh, fucker. You ain't Patrick Swayze, motherfucker. The fuck is this? Get that shit out of here. You ain't Patrick Swayze and I ain't Demi Moore, motherfucker. Get that ghost the hell out my house. Oh shit. Yo, my mom's is fucking hilarious when it comes to religion, yo. My mom's is fucking hilarious when it comes to that shit. My mom's is not a religious person whatsoever. She does not. My mom's don't play them religious games. She don't like religion. She just, it ain't her thing. Let's just put it like this. All the years I ever been alive, the only time I ever seen my mother in a church was during her funeral. That's it. That's the only time my mom's ever stepped inside of a church or mosque or any of that shit was during a funeral or a wedding. That's it. She don't do religion. Let's see. I've never seen that happen. Oh, the beginning part. Oh, give me 1 second. Let me see. Did Kia ask that question? That's what happened. Oh, okay. No, she was just commenting on that. Okay. Yeah, muchacha, at the beginning I was playing this I was playing this little debate these Europeans was having. They was discussing black people, their favorite topic. It was some white liberals versus some white nationalists. And I was just letting it just play and just letting people just hear. But I caught the ass end of the conversation, so y'all ain't really get to hear when they was really trying, like when they really was going in. But next time they going in and I catch them, I'm going to stream it live so y'all can hear these motherfuckers. These motherfuckers is off the chain. Let's see. You catch the Holy Ghost, kid? Yeah, that Holy Ghost thing spooked me out. I ain't gonna lie to you. He was in some white people trying. Yeah. Let's see. I go to a Pentecostal church now, and some people. And you understand. Yeah, woo, man. I done been to a bunch of churches. I done been to a bunch of mosques. I gotta like just because I'm atheist, don't think I ain't never been in you guys' environment. Oh, I've been there. You know, I get invited all the time. Come down, and this, that, and third. Jehovah's Witness inviting me to play everything. Like I always get invited places. Sometimes I go just to hear what they talking about. I go knowing it's bullshit in my head and everything else, but I just want to go and I'm nosy like that. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what's going on. Like what hot shit are y'all talking about that got these people willing to give up 10% of their income to your ass? You know what I mean? Like what is it? What's the hot shit? What's this special truth that you know that's supposed to take care of everybody after death? Let me know all about it. So you know, I go and I listen, you know, and I see how the setup is and everything else, and I just like I said, I psychoanalyze all this religion shit. I psychoanalyze everything. I see how people move, how people act in certain situations, and according and how everybody's worldview is pretty much closely related to what deity they believe in, or they'll try to coincide their deities laws or rules or into their own belief systems and everything. Like it's just interesting. It's fascinating to me. Religion fascinates me. It really does. That's why I talk about it so much, because it fascinates me. It disgusts me in some aspects, but in all aspects it fascinates me. Even the disgusting parts fascinate me. So like, yeah. But they wouldn't. People who say, yeah, man, I be seeing all types of stuff. What's going on, Game Banger? What other chat room? I don't know what you're talking about. If you're talking about the one that I had on earlier, that was like this other spot, this little spot these motherfuckers be at, this little, I like to call it the dark web. It ain't even the internet, fucking app. They done took it to the dark web. It used to be a little YouTube community, and they all kind of just now they all kind of dipped off to this other spot where they in the cut now. They got their little honeycomb hideout. I just so happen to know where it's at, and I was just blasting their conversation. Word up. But what's the word, family? Talk to me. It's Friday. I'm feeling good. I had a long week, family. I'm happy as hell. It's Friday. I'm in a good mood for the most part. About as good as it could be. It's hot in the motherfucker outside, though. It's raining all day earlier. Now it's hot in the motherfucker. Hey. You want to listen? All right, give me 1 second. Let me see something. I don't think they still talking about black people though right now. I think I cut it off, Banger, because they started getting into a philosophical discussion about different languages and early civilizations and different languages, and I already know that was about to spin into a religious debate, which is cool with me, but I ain't want to bore everybody else up in here with that because I know everybody over here ain't really into the philosophical religious debates. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you wouldn't know it hearing me rant, right? I know, but I see people be thinking, Fred, people be mistaken. People be hear me get in the rant mode, and you know, when I get to going and everything, and I start ranting, like people think I be mad. Like I don't be mad. I'm just passionate. You know, I just, most of the time you even hear me laughing in the middle of it because I'm not upset. You know, I'm just passionate. I just talk loud. I talk loud. I rap loud. I'm just a boisterous person like that, you know. So when I get going, you know, my volume tends to turn up a little bit, and people mistake that for anger. That's just passion. It's just passion. Play some hip hop. All right, let's see. For Blasted be worthless Caucasian, sure they love keeping their minds up. Yes, they do, muchacha. They love talking about us. We their favorite topic. Because I had just happened to stumble in up. I happened to stick my neck up in there just to see what they was talking about, and of course, it was us. It was us. That's the norm, though. Like that's normal behavior over there. I'm not the first time you were scared of me, friend. Yeah, I know a lot of people. Like I said, a lot of people the first time they hear me, they be like, "God, this guy's angry." Like, nah, I ain't angry. I'm laughing my ass off over here. I'm actually laughing. I'm just loud. You know what I'm saying? Like I normally I have a bag of fuck it sitting right here ready to smoke after I go to my little rants, and after I do it, it's like, all right, you know, whatever. I'm over it. I usually feel better after I ran anyway. Even when I'm agitated, like after I rant, I'll feel better afterwards. Because I got it off my chest. Yeah, I agree. That's we loud, period. We just loud individuals. We are just loud individuals. Like you go to most barbershops got loud conversations going on inside of them. And that's pretty much what I call, you know, when I'm here, you get a lot of barbershop type talk, you know, and most barbershops, you're going to get a lot of loud motherfuckers up in there. A lot of loud conversation, passionate conversation. Where did you see that video of Dr. Wilson on how she said the white man came up with the design of the gun? Which Dr. Wilson video was that? Dr. Wilson makes a lot of good analogies, by the way. Yeah. Well, I think was that Donahue? Was that the Donahue joint she said that on? I know she said it on. She might have said that on the Donahue joint too. She made that claim a couple of joints. Or was that the old one when she was debating that white dude? It might have been the old one when she was debating that white dude too. I forget. I love that one too when she was debating that white nationalist motherfucker back in the 70s. I love rest in peace, Dr. Frances Wilson. Rest in peace to her. Let's see. Let's see. Wasn't the Donahue one? It could have been that old one. It could have been the old one. Well, was a lecture. Oh, the lecture. Okay, got you. Yeah, she's made that reference a few times. If anybody's interested in coming in, I'll send out the link too, by the way. My rant's pretty much over. So if anybody want to come in, y'all can. Let me know if y'all want the link, though. I'll send it to you. I'm not going to drop it in the chat. Let me see. Give me 1 second, family. Yeah. I'll drop this link real quick in the back chat. So I can't drop it in the live chat, family. To me, too much fuckery going on. I don't want to deal with no fuckery. All right, what's this one? All right, drop it up in there. Let me see. Find another one. Where's the other one at? Okay. All right, who's the next one? That one. All right. Who's the next one? There's a lot of people up in here. Give me 1 second, family. Trying to find my old. Oh, you know what? I remember where I put. All right. I'm just dropping it in a few places, family.
So.
Oh, who's that?
Kid? Yeah.
Hey, what's going on,
Kid? All right, man. Just came back from vacation from Dallas.
Oh, Dallas?
Yeah.
I ain't been to Dallas in years.
Oh, it's nice, man. It's hot. It was hot today.
Oh, I know that's right.
Oh dang! I'm gonna have to put my avatar on. My head looking wild. Well, it's cool though.
Okay.
Hey, let me. You got some headphones? Yeah, I'm finna go get my headphone. Let me set this up. Hold on.
Yeah, I got echo. Okay. Let me finish dropping this link. Let me see. Anybody else looking for it? Let me see. What's going on, Six? How you? My voice ain't coming through. Let me know if y'all can. Let me know if my audio messed up. I don't know if Fran talking about mumbling. I guess my audio messed up. Let me know. You scared? Fran, it's like a little punk. What the hell are you talking about? You scared? Yeah, but I'm gonna definitely next time they doing that old racist stuff over there, family. I'm gonna let y'all hear all of that. I'm still dropping the link, family.
Hey, is that better? Can you hear the interference?
Yeah, that's better. No echo. Wait, hold on. I just heard echo.
Oh, that's me trying to fix these big old headsets. I got the old style, you know, the ones you put over your ears.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah.
There's a problem.
What happened?
I got blocked from both of your live chats for no reason.
You got blocked in live chat for no reason.
Yeah, on both on your live chat for no reason. I was trying to type in your chat. I realized I just got blocked from both of your chats. on your live chat for no reason.
Let me ask you a question, Joe.
Yes, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
I can't.
Okay,
Yeah. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. What's going on with you, man?
Ain't no going wrong with me.
Yeah, it is, man. Since you want to talk about this, what's going on with you, man? What's up with this anti-black rhetoric I keep hearing coming from you?
Anti-black rhetoric. I'm not talking about that. I was calling out the bad behavior within the black community. I wasn't talking that mess and crap.
You wasn't talking smack about pro-blacks, Jalen?
No, I was addressing them. I wasn't talking smack about them.
Jalen, you had a video. The title of it was some pro-black, whatever that was. I don't even remember what the title was.
I typed in addressing pro-black who defend bad behavior. I wasn't talking smack to them. I was addressing them that y'all gotta stop defending bad behavior within the black community. That's why I said I don't talk smack to these pro-blacks.
All right, before I address that,
yeah,
I did not hear you another time saying that Tammy Sotomayor is correct about everything he said about black women.
No,
and everything else, and I'm sick of these black women, and I'm sick of all these
black women. No,
I didn't say that. You didn't hear what I just said. Listen to what I'm saying. You made a video, and in the video, you said that Tammy Sotomayor is right about what he says about black women, and you was like, forget all these pro-blacks. I'm done with these pro-blacks. Blah 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 blah, and everything else. You didn't say this before, Jalen?
No.
Be honest.
Yes, and I was not. Yes, and I wasn't bashing black women. I was addressing.
I didn't say you was bad. I didn't say you was necessarily bashing black women, but you was co-signing Tammy.
I don't co-sign with him. I'll just co-sign the ratchets.
Well, saying he's correct about everything he says about black women is co-signing. You do realize that, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I don't. Yes, sir.
You don't have to call me sir. I mean, you don't gotta be so formal. I'm asking questions, because I'm trying to figure out what's going on with you. I wouldn't even, since you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with you.
Hey.
Okay, am I breaking up or is he breaking up?
Pro-blacks not
he's breaking up.
Okay. Yeah, you breaking up, Jalen. I couldn't hear what you were saying.
Revolution Black Love said he was.
I'm talking about, I don't want to bring up other people.
Okay.
I mean, I just try to keep it on what's going on with you. Like, Glenn, what's going on with you? Like, 1 minute, I keep hearing an echo. You got some headphones on?
No, I'm going. What? Ain't no going on with me. I was saying that I was calling out bad behavior within the black community. I wasn't bashing my own people. I don't do that.
Well, I mean, like, I'm just saying, son, like, when you start talking down about this whole pro-black thing and everything else, this, that, and third, I don't know if you know my position or not, but I hold a position. If you're not pro-black, you anti-black. And so, like, that's kind of what it is. Like, I don't know what, again, I think you are one of these people that get what pro-black is confused. Because I don't know, you cannot associate pro-black with an individual. Because that is, like, if you get into a problem with somebody who's pro-black, you cannot just say, okay, well, I'm not pro-black anymore because I got a problem with this dude who's pro-black or this female who's pro-black. So that means I'm not pro-black. That's not what being pro-black is all about. And if that's what you're going to do, then that means you was never pro-black to begin with. Because this is a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. That's what it is. It's a mindset. I argue with people that are pro-black all the time, but none of these arguments that I ever had with another pro-black is ever going to make me denounce being pro-black. just because I had a disagreement or an argument with somebody who's pro-black. That's nonsense. That doesn't even make any sense. That's not logical. I don't see, and it's only people are only doing this with pro-black people because I don't see other theists like other Christians arguing with a Hebrew or something about the Bible, and all of a sudden they're like, you know what? Forget all this. I'm not going to believe in the Bible anymore because they done got into an argument about who exegesis the Bible better. Like that's not how it works. You know, either you pro-black or you're not, and that's just what it is. And it ain't no flip-flopping with it. I just don't like the flip-flopping. I just like to know where I stand with people. I mean, if you're going to take that position, you shouldn't be flip-flopping back and forth. Whatever position it is you hold, you should stand firm in your position and hold it down. Whatever it is. That's just life. That's just how I view it. I don't know. And when I saw you saying that stuff, then you uploaded that video saying savages and everything is that third. That's white supremacist rhetoric, bro. You sitting up here, that don't make you no different than Tammy. That don't make you no different than Tammy. What's the difference between what you did and what Tammy do? Tammy upload these little stupid ass World Star hip hop videos and say and put down BT 1000s and shit like that up in the title, and then talk shit about the black people up in there, and white people eat that shit up. What's that you upload the shit saying savages this and savages that, and there's some black people doing shit? It's the same shit. It's the same white supremacist bullshit ass rhetoric. I ain't saying you gotta defend bad behavior. That's not what it's about. But you ain't supposed to be promoting bad behavior either.
Okay. I don't either. I don't promote bad behavior. But you want me to take down those videos if you want me to, I can.
Nah, Jalen, I'm not Jalen. I didn't ask you to take them down. I never asked you to take them down. I wouldn't even have this conversation with you, but you came in here wanting to have the conversation.
Having
the conversation. But I'm just telling you where my head is at. I'm just telling you where my head is at. I don't want you to take nothing down. I want you to keep whatever you upload on there. That's your channel. You're entitled to upload whatever it is on your channel. I can't control your channel. You do what you do. I'm just saying this is where my head is at. I'm just telling you because you wanted to know.
Also, SYKOPATHeist, I just want to tell you something. That I was addressing I wasn't bashing my own people. I was addressing the those individuals that like to cause trouble within the black community. I ain't gonna put down my own people. I don't do that on my channel.
Listen, man.
Hello?
Just like any other race of people, just like any other race of people, certain people that do dumb shit. Just like any other race of people. But when you do, like I said, when you perpetuate this type of imagery and message on your channel, you are not doing anything but pleasing coons and white supremacists, because you're validating everything that they're saying about us by doing these things. Because they're the only ones who's going to eat it up. So when you do that, you are catering to them. You're not catering to us. You're not erasing. You're not eradicating that behavior by uploading that type of stuff to your channel. That type of behavior is still going to go on whether you upload it on your channel or not. So it's not helping anything by uploading that stuff to your channel outside of the fact that just, again, perpetuating a negative message about black people that's already out there.
So can I chime in real quick? Shalom to the...
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, bro. Peace, man. I hear what you're saying, and it sounds like, you speaking on brothers and sisters, basically, supporting each other, being there for each other, and when the individual is speaking down on another brother, you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be, what do you call it? Cheerleaded on. You know what I'm saying? Especially when the information is false.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just the other day, I was in the live chat, and for some reason, global media decided to call me King Noble. And when I get an opportunity to actually address him, I'm going to address him.
Oh, that was you. But, that's right. Me and you was going back and forth about the flat earth the other day. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah.
All right. So I thought, because me and you had a little and you kind of like, you know, cheerleaded on that little situation. So I thought I'd come and chop it up with you as men. You know what I'm saying? And
well, I don't.
You stand
Yeah,
on
I don't know
that,
what was
because
going. Me and you, what me and you had going on was about.
nobody.
Yeah, what me and you had going on was about the flat Earth. I don't know what you and Global got going on. We was going back and forth about flat Earth.
I mean, because it looked like you was like, you know, you kind of like agreed and accepted the fact that, you know, he slandered me and said that shit, and then you put a comment out there like, you know, on some negativity, and it's like, bro, like, I'm not that individual, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, which global are we talking about here?
to,
It's a couple of globals. Which global are we talking about?
Global Media, African, the dude with the black and white avatar with the glasses.
Oh no, that's not Global Media. Okay, I'm about to say, because I don't fuck with Global Media. You talking about African globalism, African tribalism with global? Yeah, I know you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
and you know what I'm saying? My thing is, you know,
1 second.
It's not a, you know, I'm not hitting you up to, you know, for a conflict and nothing like that. I just, like I say, as a man, I want to see where you stand on that, because I'm listening to what you're saying. And in my opinion, the way that I read what I was reading, when old boy made that comment, or whoever it is made that comment, you know, you kind of like chimed in on it. Like, really? That's, and then you said something along the line where, you know, it was like, damn, like, me and you actually was in a live chat before. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
in a few different platforms, you know, in the chat room. So you already understand that I'm far from a King Noble. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Nor do I even stand. Really, what it was the fact that dude put out there, I stand for raping black women in our revolution. And then you responded to that. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm far from that type of shit, bro. I know.
Yeah, I'm about to. I remember. This is how I remember what happened. I remember coming over there. I believe this was Six Dynasties hangout, and I believe he was doing it was the Geechee, right? It was the Geechee hangout, and I remember I was listening to it. And in the middle of me listening to it, I remember I had to run downstairs to the store. I ran downstairs to the store. I came back. When I came back, the stream was still going, and the whole conversation in the live chat turned from they was talking about the Geechee, which I really wanted to talk about, and everybody was in there talking about flat Earth, and I was like, "What the hell is this flat Earth conversation?" And that's when I started messing with the flat Earthers in there, and this, that, and the third, and that's what I was in there going in on. And I remember somebody did. I guess you're saying it was African Global. It could have been him. Somebody called you Queen Noble, and I was like, that's him. And I remember asking. I think I asked, like, is that him? Like, I did, because I think I made a couple of comments about Queen Noble, and I didn't know if that was you or not, or whatever. I know he made the claim. Somebody made the claim that was you, and I started going in on Queen Noble. I don't even think I made a whole lot of comments. I think it was only like 2 or 3, maybe, to Queen Noble. But if it wasn't you, then it wasn't no need for you to really be upset, because that's who I was referring to Queen Noble. I don't know what y'all two. It seemed like y'all two got history, I guess. I don't know.
It's really no history.
I was messing with flat earthers.
It was no history, bro. It was the fact that, you know, me and you was having that conversation, you know, about flat earth, you know, even though that was outside of what the topic was about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I was only responding to what I seen you respond to, even though you was responding to other motherfuckers talking about the flat earth. You know, you see how that shit go? So
yeah.
It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't necessarily there to attack you and your, or whatever your stance is on that. I just,
I don't get
what you said caught my attention. So I decided to chime in. And as far as I'm concerned, our back and forth wasn't even disrespectful.
Nah, you know I didn't get I would say I don't think I got this stuff.
Like that. It was, my thing is slander, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I know what I stand on, and I know what I stand for. And I don't stand for nothing that King Noble ever stood for or will ever stand for.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, if you ain't King Noble, you just not King. You're not King Noble. Like, I believe you're not King Noble now. You know what I'm saying? Not speaking to you and everything. You know, but I was just, I was in the chat. I heard people saying it was you, that you was him. I wasn't sure then. I wasn't. That's why I asked. You know, like, that's him. Like, you know, I was like confused because I wasn't talking to you like you was Queen Noble at first. Too, I heard somebody say it, and that's why I was like, hold up, that's him. But I didn't again, I don't think I came at you sideways as far as like that goes. I was, attacking flat earth, but again, like, that shit ain't about nothing. That's just, banging on ideologies. That ain't about nothing.
Right.
But nothing personal.
That's why I said, I came in peace, there's no conflict as far as I'm concerned. I just wanted to see where you stand as a man. That's all,
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. That's what's up. Like it wasn't no beef that day. Again, it was just, fun in the live chat. That's all.
I respect that.
You know what I mean? I don't take too much of anything up on here personally. I'm not that guy. You know what I mean? People make videos about me, I brush it off. People say things, I brush it off. It ain't about nothing. It's YouTube. You know what I mean? People gonna have opinions about certain things. But I do understand the slander in the lie part, because that part gets under my nerves. Like people started slandering me and lying on me, so I understand that. But no, I didn't spread that rumor though. I didn't start it or spread it. I actually asked whether or not it was true.
It's cool, That's why I decided to chop it up with you like a man should, and basically trying to set an example for other brothers, that might have they might think they have a conflict with somebody and understand how to address our people. You know what I'm saying? It'd be wrong for me to be coming at you on your live chat, disrespecting you, like, you know what I'm saying, like you just some type of chump or punk or something, when we supposed to be trying to mend this gap that's got us so separated and so far apart. You know what I'm saying?
True. I get you. I understand. I respect that. Definitely. Jalen, you was trying to say something else too? No, you could check around. You can hang around.
All right, for sure.
Yeah,
you can hang around. I mean,
Psychopath, I know I got.
And I was telling me good. What you were saying that, Jalen?
I know I got blocked from both of your channels, but you unblock me? I promise you, I ain't gonna say savages no more.
All right, Jalen. All right, man. I just didn't want to hear all the anti-black stuff, so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna remove myself from this whole situation. So
You know what, man? I'll just stay off on you. I'm gonna do my last live stream Monday, and that's it. I'm gonna stay off YouTube.
Yeah, I'm not telling you stay off YouTube. I don't want you to stay off because you think I want you off and all this other everything else. Don't put that pressure on me. I'm just telling you why I responded the way I responded. I'm just telling you what happened.
Okay.
Again, you asked, so I'm just telling you. But I'm not. This ain't me saying you better take these videos down. Or please don't make me that guy. No, it's not what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm just telling you that if you are going to upload those videos, you need to be conscious actually doing when you do that.
Like, can I ask a question? This to Jalen. What's your purpose? Like, what's your purpose on YouTube? Like, what are you trying to do, Jalen?
Say what now?
I'm asking you, what is your purpose concerning the community as far as YouTube go? And why are you posting on YouTube? Like, is it just for fun and games, or?
No, it's not fun and games. It's about helping people around. It's about helping the black community build. That's why I've been trying to help the black community, to build. But somehow I get laughed at, clowned at. But some of these black trolls just don't want to hear me out.
Okay. I mean, even the most well-spokenest person in the community, whoever that is, they gonna have individuals. She gonna have individuals. That's not gonna want to hear them out. But you know what I mean. You can't let that deter you and have you being negative towards your own people. That's just that's a no-no, bro. Especially if you're trying to build. You can't allow people to get you out your character and make you do things and say things, that's out your character.
Yeah.
And that's just Big Brother speaking to you, bro.
And what people are you talking about that don't call out like bad behavior? Like, can you give me some examples and like what exactly you referencing?
I'm referencing people who constantly defend bad behavior within the black community if I try to speak about, I get.
I guess that's why I'm asking for like names or videos or examples or something. Like, can you give me like some examples?
Example, like if I speak about bad behavior within the black community, that what you said, right? If I said it, like,
No,
if I
you said
said
people. You said it's people on here defending bad behavior. So I was trying to figure out who.
it was part of some of
Like,
these.
who you talking about?
I don't know who the names were. Nobody was on my live chat. Nobody was not on live chat. I was speak about it. Yeah, nobody don't call me a coon or a sell. It was on people on my second on part one Hank on the part one. Hold on.
So what is it? You talk about trolls? You talk about trolls?
Yeah, no, it was no trolls, but when I had to block somebody named Angel Sub Son 7. He keep calling me he
Oh,
had
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, they might gonna call me a coon and a sellout. Say you throwing your own people on the bus, and I just said you idiot. Didn't I just tell you I don't defend bad behavior within the black community? And guess what he else did? He's going around subscribing to me and to Superboy 2 to 3, the troll. That same old man again, asking me gay reference, talking about some.
So
Yeah,
what's defending bad? I'm still trying to understand what's defending bad behavior. Like, I'm trying to understand. Like, cause why okay. Is this a situation where you posted something where you was promoting bad behavior
no,
and then somebody's called you a coon for doing it?
No, I wasn't
Is
promoting
that what
bad
happened?
behavior. He talking about some. This what happened. Angel Sub came on my live on my when I ended the stream. He came on my channel and said you a sellout for not for speaking about it. I said okay, so let me get this right. I told him so it's okay for it's okay for people in the black community to go out and do dumb stuff, then go to jail, then what? And I respond to him, and he still called me a coon. Now, I just went, you know what? I ain't go back from. I just went and paid remove his comment. I didn't block him. I didn't block. I just removed some of his comments. That was it. He was just posting stupid
That's one
comments
person's
on my
opinion, Joe. That's one person's opinion, Joe, and everybody's not gonna like you. Everybody's not gonna like you. You're gonna have people out there that's not gonna like you, and they're going, you got some people out there that call people coons for anything. I don't think that's necessarily a good idea. I think you kind of water down the term when you throw it out there for every single person. But again, that's not enough to just make you just say, all right, well, I'm not gonna be pro-black anymore because somebody was trolling you up, calling you a coon. Again, it's not enough trolling in the world that'll make me just stop being pro-black. There's not enough trolling in the world. It's just not. My YouTube videos, I won't stop being pro-black. It ain't enough trolling in the world. Again, it's a mindset. It's about being black first. It's like you denounce it, like people denounce being pro-black, like they gonna go hang out with other races and be treated better. Like, okay, go knock yourself out. Go be the token black if that's what you want to go be, if that's what you're striving for. But that's all you're going to be is the token black. You'll never be even past that. If you're good with that, then okay, you knock yourself out. I'm not here to try to convert people, but that's what you're doing. If that's like you're fighting just to be a token, a mascot. You're competing for it. They all like having that one black friend. They all like having that just so they can't be called a racist. As long as they have that one black friend, they can never be called a racist. So they all like having that person. At least that's their logic. That's the way they think. If they had that one black friend, they can never be called a racist. They can call them a racist. I ain't racist. One of my friends is black. You hear that all the time. They got to have that black friend. Some people want to be that black friend.
That's crazy. That's fact. It's crazy. Seems like we always trying to fit in something where we don't belong.
Yeah. Yep. Yep, it's all about me. Try to make them feel comfortable. Why we gotta try to make the white man comfortable? For what? For what? They don't try to make us feel comfortable. They give a damn about our comfort. They all try to make comfortable. We gotta point out our bad behavior. Why they don't never address theirs. They don't never their own bad behavior. They justify bad behavior. They defend their bad behavior. How come we can't defend ours? Why should we defend our bad behavior? They defend their bad behavior all the time. What they do with George Zimmerman? They defended that motherfucker. What they do with all them cops that killed all those black people? They defended that shit. They always defending that. How come we got to call out our stuff and they never call out theirs? Why we always got the high road? Goes right back to what I was saying before. You always got the high road. For what? Why? Why can't we do what they do? We ain't start this game, but why can't we play it better than them? I mean, that what happened with basketball. We ain't create basketball. We learn to play it better than them, bro. Why can't we do the same thing with this shit? Learn how to play it better than them. Play the same fucking play.
It's better. You know, I feel like this, bro. When they come down to their little punk ass game, I say fuck they game. I say we just need to stop fucking with their games, fucking with their little thought process, and anything else they got going on. We need to say fuck them.
I hear you there too.
On that. Period. Point blank.
I think they be trying to start beef with you and SYKOPATHeist. They be trying to start beef. They be trying to, me and you just try to start beef. And that's what they trolls love to do.
Ain't nobody beefing.
When you notice a troll, you gotta ignore a troll, bro. That's like in real life, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You got antagonizing people. You gonna let the antagonizer, you know what I'm saying, antagonize you to the point where, you know, you gonna lump yourself up and lump that person up, hurt your hands, and they hurt their hands because, you know, they want to be ignorant. Or you gonna be the bigger person, the more mature person, and understand their ignorance and walk away from it. It's the same thing on social media.
Hey, Jalen, I'm gonna just tell you right now. If you get on Hangout just to get people to like you, there ain't no reason to get on chat. Ain't no reason to get on a talk show to talk. You there to talk your points. If somebody want to agree with you, fine. If they don't, that's fine too. But you don't get on there just to build your confidence. This is the wrong platform for that. If you want to make your points, you got very good points. You speak your points. You don't have to take your points off. If you have a good thing you strong about, that's what Hangout is about. It's making your point and let people know. If they agree, well. If they don't, damn it. You know, you ain't there to get no likes. You just there to make your point.
For real. This is not the place to come up on here looking for friends. I'm sorry to tell you. It's a good place to meet like-minded people, people that you associate with, people that you can build with. But if you're looking for a best friend, this is not the place for it. I would argue none of these social media spots are a good place for it, I would argue. Social media spots are a trap. I tell people all the time, if you're going to get into especially like if you're going to get into a relationship, man, what? Man, get your ass off social media. Because I'm going to tell you, social media's job, their job is to break up your happy home. If social media sees that you have a happy home, their job is to try to infiltrate as much as they can and break that shit up. That's social media's job. And trust me, people be on their grind. They on their job. They working 24. They got 24-hour shifts going. People, and it's not even a game. It's not even a game. People taking different hours and everything. Like, that's their job. Their job is to split y'all up. If you're in a relationship, your relationship is best that y'all do not conduct yourselves in social media and like as far as like letting everybody in y'all business and everything else. Matter of fact, y'all probably shouldn't even be on social media. because it's just going to cause a bunch of distrust and a bunch of questions. And yeah, I just never see anything good come from it. That's just me. Anybody in the chat looking for a link, let me know. Matter of fact, I'll just drop it in the chat. What you were saying, my bad.
No, I'm just saying most individuals, you know, don't know how to conduct themselves. I was one of them individuals at one point in time, you know, immature in my ways, you know. But at the end of the day, it's about maturing, man. You know, far from perfect.
Well, I agree.
And I say it all the time, you know, but at the same time, I'm striving to be that, you know, within, according to my ancestors, you know, and what I stand for. So, you know, it's a possibility for me. You know, I can't speak for nobody else. I can only speak for myself. You know, and even if I can obtain to be that perfect individual according to my culture, that don't make me better than the next individual. Understand that?
Oh, true.
Hey, SYKOPATHeist, what's your email to? So put it in a Google Hangout so I can email to you. So I can email you.
All right, I'll do that in a little bit. I got you.
Hey,
what's going on, Mark?
Peace of blessings, brother, man. Peace of blessings to everybody on the panel. Peace of blessings to the chat. Happy 7th to everybody. This looks like it's a good build so far. I just popped in. Sorry, I'm late, but I was doing a celebration broadcast for today for the 7th. You know what I'm saying?
I caught some of it.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I wish he had popped in and said something. I threw the link up in there.
I did. I said a couple of things. Oh, you dropped the link. I didn't know. What happened was I had got caught. I had got a message. Somebody was trying to get my attention over at this other spot. I went over there and I heard all these Europeans over there kicking our backs in. So I decided I'm gonna let the family hear some of this. And that's what made me decide to go live. So I was letting the family hear a little bit of it.
Oh, it's all good, bro. I mean, but today, this celebration's all day long, man. You know, I'm celebrating us today, honoring our fallen, honoring our heroes, honoring our ones who are still with us, like Brother Mumia Abu Jabal, Sister Asada Shakur, and so on. I mean, it was real positive, man. And you know, Jalen, I'm gonna tell you, man, I ain't never had nothing but love for you. I think you're a positive young cat. But the elder brothers here before me said it right, man. Thick in your skin. This ain't the place for friends. There's a lot of people out here who got mad respect for you. That's gonna have to be enough sometimes. Let the trolls do what they do. People hate me. People hate SYKOPATHeist. People hate Yashir. You know, people hate Kid. People gonna hate. That's some people's job. That's like he said, 24/7. They wake up looking for somebody's life to ruin, destroy, break up, hate. Without haters, man, I think of haters is the pepper. You know what I'm saying? I got my meat, I sprinkle a little pepper on it, everything's tasty. What would my life be without my haters? You know, so let them hate. You know, keep doing you, keep learning, keep growing, keep being the dude that you being on the positive tip that you being, man. The people that want to ride with you, they're gonna ride with you. And the rest of them, leave them by the wayside.
Well said, well said.
That's good.
You know, because shit, I mean, I wake up every day to click on my YouTube channel to hate. And I just laugh. I just be like, oh, they couldn't even they couldn't even sleep well without thinking of something to hate on me for. You know, it's all good. You know, I just know I'm not talking to them. The people that want to ride with me, they ride and they post comments, they participate in hangouts. The people that ride with you, Jalen, we want to hear what you got to say. We come and participate, right? We lift you up. Feel us, fuck them. That's a nice little slogan. Feel us, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? That's shit. That's the way it's got to be. I mean, Psycho, tell him how many haters you get a day.
Man, listen, I get so much hate. I sit up here, like I said, like that spot that I was at earlier, where I heard all these Europeans trying to kick our backs and everything. Like I go over to that spot over there, hear all these fucking Europeans over here kicking our backs in. I go in there banging on these motherfuckers, defending us, and then I'll have like about 2 or 3 coons in the background chirping, barking, being little pets, and I got to go through them just to get to like these white nationalists and everything else, and I get disgusted. I could easily be like, you know what the fuck am I doing? I'm sitting up here defending black people, and I got these stupid coons. I got to fight through coons to get us some white nationalists. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is disgusting. But at no point do I say, you know what, fuck this. This ain't worth it. Fuck black people. I'm not going to be pro-black no more. No, hell no. What? Fuck that. No, it's fuck them. Fuck those coons. Fuck they little pets or whatever. But it ain't fuck all black people. Hell no.
Real talk. I bang on whiteism and its acolytes all day. I use acolytes as a specific term. You know what I'm saying? Because acolytes is people that want to be a part of a religion but will never make it in. You know what I'm saying? They're on the outside looking in. There's a lot of coons that think that by, catering and caping for the pale folk that they're going to make it into the inner circle. And they won't. They hewers of wood and drawers of water. And I just laugh at them. I just keep it pushing.
Mm-hmm. And gatekeepers. Hey, man.
That's right. They gatekeepers. They matter of fact, they not even worth stressing about, Jalen. Real talk, man. Now, I'm gonna tell you what gets me when there's obviously educated black folk, people that are on a conscious level of things that want to sometimes attack and critique. Luckily, I haven't had much of that lately. I've had some, but not much of that. But that is disturbing. But other than that, I don't even sweat the haters. I don't sweat the acolytes, the pets, as psychos say. Man, their job is to run off at their mouth. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Our job is to get to, it's like when you watch those crime movies and the criminal gang that did something to the good guy, like killed his wife or his dog or something like that, and he had to go through all these minions to get to the boss. Your job, Jalen, is to get to the boss. Fuck the minions. You know what I'm saying? They ain't nobody. They just bullet fire. You know what I'm saying? Shoot them down or get past them. Your job is to take down the boss. You know what I'm saying? And until you reach the boss, and you'll know when you do, don't even sweat them.
And I be trying to help people, but they act like they don't want to listen. So you know what? If I can't help you, they don't come on my channel trolling. So it's just what it is. I try to help people, but they act like they don't want to help me.
Jalen, what helped me through all some of the stuff that we've kind of went through in the last, because you've been broadcasting for a little while now, and so is Psycho and all the rest of us. And for a while there, it just seemed like it was beef after beef after beef after beef after beef, just drama everywhere. What kind of really helped me to get through that, Jalen, with a positive attitude, was understanding that my job isn't to help my people. My job is to give them information. They have to choose whether or not that information is salient, first of all, right? Meaning that it means something. And second of all, what they intend to do with that information that I provide them. So what I do is give the information, but I detach from how they use it. This way, I'm not disappointed. If they don't take it and run with it, then maybe it wasn't for them. If they do take it and run with it, then that's perfect. That's what I came to, to do. But at no point do I attach myself to the outcome. Give your information, Jalen. People need to have that. But let them determine how it is that they're going to utilize that information, how they're going to run it. See what I'm saying? And I think that'll help you out.
And let me say this too. And this goes to everybody. Nobody promised anybody that being pro-black was going to be easy. Nobody said that this shit was going to be easy. And I tell people all the time, this is, matter of fact, probably the hardest position you can ever have, because you are going to get attacked from everybody. Every race, every gender, including your own. Everybody is going to attack you when you take this position. It's not going to be easy. There's nothing easy about it. You got to be strong, and you got to be, you got to be willing to make the sacrifice, because that's what you're making. You're making a sacrifice.
Yes, absolutely. I would agree 100%, Psycho. I matter of fact, I couldn't even put it any better than that. It is truly a gift, a sacrifice. It's putting something of value out there with the hope that it is accepted in the spirit in which it's delivered, and someone else finds it valuable. That's a tough thing for a lot of us to do, because we do get attached to our respective positions, right? If you hold a certain idea or a certain belief, and someone doesn't even bother to attack the belief or the position, they attack you. It can get frustrating, but at the end of the day, you have to understand, Jalen, that this is a battle of ideas, right? The ideas themselves is what you aiming to give to the people, right? That's the sacrifices that you make. It is taking the time and the energy and the effort to put those ideas out there for them to either embrace or to leave aside. I tell people all the time, judge me by my work. If you can't attack my work,
Right.
leave me the hell alone. Because I don't, first of all, I don't give a fuck what you're saying. It ain't nothing you gonna say that's gonna make me feel any different about me. And second of all, you look stupid. Attack my ideas. You know what I mean? If I put something out there that's bogus or don't help the family, I want to know about it. Otherwise, let me ride.
Right. That's all you can ever do is just be the best you can possibly be. That's all you can do.
Yeah, SYKOPATHeist. I'm trying to post it in the chat, but I can't on both accounts. I can't even post in the chat. Tell them that I was 22 years old. I can't even post it on the chat now.
On what? My chat?
Yeah, on your chat.
Give me a minute, Joe. Give me a minute.
Hey, Psycho, can I give a quick shout out, brother?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to shout out Tarian Rain. He did a really good video today, honoring our brother Micah. And if y'all haven't had a chance to check it out, it's very short. It's only like 10 minutes. But go over there, make your comments, thumbs it up. It was a damn good video. And so I wanted to show him some love, shout him out. Please, family, check it out because it was spot on good work.
True.
Put the link down.
I haven't seen it yet.
I'm not a mod on Psycho's channel, so I can't post any links. But Psycho, if you want to link to that video so people can access it, man, that'd be dope.
You want me to screen share? You said?
No. Just go to his channel. Like, open up another tab, go to his channel, and share the video in the chat. Unless you wanna stream it, that's fine by me. It's a dope.
Nah, I won't stream. I ain't gonna stream it because I don't know if you want people streaming it. I'll post a link to it.
Right.
All right. Mark, I have both channels. So yes, last year they had flagged one of my videos for harassment and bullying. So I just created me a second channel since they want to flag me.
Damn, I mean,
it happened last year.
I ain't gonna lie, I wish I could address that, but I don't get it like that. And it could be that I'm just doing something wrong. Because but people don't flag my videos. Like, first of all, most of my videos are directed toward us, right? I don't talk to pale people. I talk about them, but I don't talk to pale people. I don't engage, I don't engage necessarily with trolls. I had like one video where I felt like having fun, and so I let the trolls go on for a minute, but then I got bored and I was like, fine, kick their ass off, right? So I don't really engage with pale people much on my channel, but I don't get flagged and stuff like that. Mark Black, I have 2 channels. I have 3. I have Mark Black, then I've got another one I've only done a couple of 3 videos for called The Master Race, where I did some news stories and laughed at pale people. But then I got one that I'm going to be uploading my audio book to. Once I finish writing my book, I'm going to upload the audio version to that channel. And it's not going to be any hangouts or commentary or anything like that on that channel. It's called Pure Black Thought. And that's just going to be for my audio book. Mark Black is the only channel I got. And that's the only one I'm going to rock with. I figure if they able to get me shut down on YouTube, I got web hosting. I'll just host my own shit and come on to other people's hangouts and say, hey, here's where Mark Black said, y'all. Come holler at your man. So I don't give a damn. YouTube can do whatever the hell it wants. I'm not a fear to YouTube. I'm not a fear to any of the trolls or none of them because I'm not here for them. I'm here for you. I'm here to speak to you and talk and work with you. I don't give a fuck about me.
I see we got Warrior Hebrew up in here. What's going on?
Hey, what's up? Hey, be quiet, y'all. Hey, peace, y'all. How's everybody doing today?
Peace, black man. Happy Sabbath to you.
Okay.
All right, cool. Let's go with you.
Chilling, relaxing on the Sabbath, taking it easy. It's hot right now in New York. I seen y'all was doing a live stream. I figured I'd just come on by. How y'all brothers? How's everybody doing?
All right.
We good. We good. Just building, chopping it up.
Just chopping it up.
I like say a little thing I told my young little sister. I say, if you ain't growing, you dying.
Yes.
If you ain't growing, you ain't dying. You dying. You have to always live, grow. We make mistakes. Hey, I made mistakes. Apologize, go home. And I have to get on a lot of people. I work at the public, and they mess up or say something. Oh, I'm sorry. I say, are you sorry? I say, that's not. A lot of times people say sorry for the wrong reason. If they mess up, they say I'm sorry. Just say, I messed up. You don't say sorry for that. Now, if you intentionally do something, that's when you apologize, say I was wrong. Hey, I'm sorry. But we in the world apologizing for stuff that we don't need to be apologizing for. And then we take the meaning out of apologizing, meaning nothing. So when people say something, I'm sorry, you be like, oh well, it don't mean nothing. So we have to I really have to watch my words. I'm trying to do better with that. Grow some more.
That was deep
I'm sorry.
because no, sister, I appreciate you bringing that up because I actually did a video talking about forgiveness in the process of justice, right? And I talked about the steps to forgiveness because you're right. People do diminish apologies. Like, how you gonna say sorry for something that you gonna end up doing again anyway? You see what I'm saying? Because that happens all too often. Somebody says sorry to you, and then they turn right around and do the same mess. What's the point in apologizing, right? In my opinion, people don't understand that forgiveness is a process, right? First, the person who committed the wrong has to acknowledge that they did you a wrong, right? They have to say, wow, I was wrong. I did X, I did Y, I did Z. The second step is you have to feel some remorse about the wrong that you committed, right? Wow, I really did, I feel bad that I done that to you, or so on and so forth, right? The third step, in my opinion, though, is the most important, and that's repentance. Repentance means to turn away from, right? It's not enough to just say, I'm sorry, right? Or I feel bad about it. You need to detail what caused you to commit the wrong and how you intend to address it so that you don't do it again in the future. And only then should someone feel free to forgive you because you've established that you did a wrong, you acknowledged it, you repented of it and made clear that you don't intend to do it again. Then you can say, oh, you know what? No worries. I forgive you, right? It's not a big deal. Or I accept your apology or whatever. But apologies are handed out like candy for stuff that people are just going to continue to do anyway. I don't go for that.
Yeah, I noticed that because while I work in public, I work with a lot of white people, and they'll do little stupid stuff that, oh, I'm sorry. And to me, they didn't get used to, I'm sorry, I apologize, and don't mean nothing to them. And I got to the point where I could just see right through that. They used to saying I'm sorry, even though when they not sorry. And that made me think about, well, dang, that's how they live their life. They really not sorry about, a lot of times, they're not really sorry about something. They sorry they got caught. And they just sorry I caught them on it. And I'll be like, wait a minute, you did this to me. And I let them know. I got to a point where I was just so frustrated at my job. And you know what? I said, I'm going to quit being frustrated and getting more blood pressure pills. I'm going to start taking it out on these folks. So when I get mad at them, I get mad at the person that made me mad. So I don't be mad at the next customer or whoever I'm talking to, employee, the next person I'm working with. I done got that off my chest. I done told you what you done did that made me piss me off. And I'm good. And I'm going on and singing and being back at myself because I was getting to a point. You hold it in because you mad at that person, then you snap it out on another person, and that's a cycle. And they get going in that cycle. And I had to break myself from that cycle. Like, wait a minute now, this ain't making much sense. I ain't getting mad at the person who actually pissed me off. I'm getting mad at everybody that came behind them and hollering at the folks that You know, what's going on? I had to rethink how I handle that situation.
Absolutely. You know, I really like what you said earlier, sister, when you said that if you're not growing, you're dying. And I think that's so true because, you know, I feel like at 44 years old that I'm just now to the point where I'm ready to grow like I want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just now feeling like, yeah, I'm at that point now where I'm ready to take off. You know what I mean? Because I've put in the work, I've paid my dues, and so on and so forth. You know, one of the things that Psychopathiest talks about a lot, and I tend to talk about it a lot on my channel too, is the need to be willing to change your mind when presented with evidence, right? Psychopathiest and I, we really share that same trait, that if you can convince me with reasonable evidence, you've won me. There's no more argument. You see what I'm saying? We don't have to worry about having debate on top of debate on top of debate where I'm just defending a position I know is undefensible, right? If you can actually present me with some evidence of that your position is true, I'm buying in, right? And Black people, you know, we love to hold on sometimes to ideas, mores, you know, customs, culture stuff that we know truthfully hasn't been working for us, and people have presented evidence that it don't work, but we're not willing to change. We're not really willing to grow and let go of some of the things that, even some of the real hard things that we hold really valuable and sacred. And so I implore all of you, family, to always be willing to change your mind. That's not to say you have a mind like a sieve where everything just falls through, but have an open mind to the point where you can be convinced by evidence, where people can present you with information that can maybe overturn something that you thought was this or thought was that before, because that's how you grow, is through those new infusion of those new ideas. They're like new blood in your mind, you know? So I really want to say I appreciated that. Psychopathiest, I'm gonna go ahead and fall back, brother. I just wanted to show some love and support for my brother Jalen. Jalen, stay strong, brother. You know, this is your home. This is your community. Fight for it. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the haters get you. They're gonna always be there. And you just keep doing you. Do the best you. And the people that's gonna ride with you are gonna ride with you. And the rest of them, leave them by the wayside. They ain't even worth wasting no brain cells on.
Right, that's so true.
That's right.
I don't let anyone rent any space in my head whatsoever.
That's right, Warrior Hebrew. I mean, you can't buy space in my head. If I don't want you there, you ain't gonna be there. I give you no thoughts. You feel me? That goes for pale people. That goes for coons. That goes for trolls. That goes for other so-called pro-Black people who want to come at me. If you can't get no head space in my head unless I want to give it to you.
That's real.
You see what I'm saying?
And as far as I'm a Jalen, you know, like, I'm so Black. You know, I'm an atheist. I'm so Black. I defend Hebrews on a regular basis whenever I hear Europeans talk shit about Hebrew. A European can't talk shit about Hebrews around me.
Nope.
And I'm an atheist. And I mean, I will defend the doctrine. It will get to the point where I'm actually defending the Hebrews doctrine and I don't even subscribe to it. But them Europeans can't talk that crap around me because they're not, even though I don't necessarily agree with the Hebrew doctrine, that's family right there. That's for me and family to talk about. I'm gonna defend, like, because it bugs me. I'm gonna tell you some of my pet peeves about Europeans discussing about Hebrew. From my standpoint, from a person who don't even subscribe to the Hebrew doctrine, I hate when it's the Black Hebrew Israelites. That bugs the shit out of me.
Yes.
Like, why are you calling them the Black Hebrew Israelites? Why do you even have to specify the fact that they are Black? Like, you're doing like first of all, they don't call themselves the Black Hebrew Israelites. It's just Hebrew.
Thank you.
Hebrew Israelite. But they do not call themselves the Black Hebrew Israelites. That is European. That is your European term that you guys popularized online and everything else. And when I hear other Black people subscribe to this crap, it bugs and annoys the shit out of me. Another thing that bugs me about these Europeans when they talk about the Hebrews is how they just automatically just dismiss it like they batshit crazy, like there's no possible way the Hebrews could have been black.
Thank you.
With bullshit. And again, this is coming from an atheist. This is
right? Hey, psychopathist, you know I'm a theist. You and I had a hangout that one time, man, where we was actually in agreement like 90% of the time. You remember? My point,
right.
Yeah, because the thing is that what we discuss as family is between family. Hebrew Israelites are my brothers and sisters. I'm going to protect their right to think and believe however the hell they want to, especially against some pale people. And besides, it's not as if there isn't some evidence that suggests that the Israelites were black. They found bones in the Negev that shows the migration from Africa of Homo sapiens to the Arabian Peninsula. If you attach the Arabian Peninsula to Africa where it belongs, you would understand that any people that would be there would be black, right? So I'm not saying I agree with every aspect of the Hebrew Israelites' teachings and so on and so forth, but for us to sit here and pretend that they don't have some basis based in fact on their beliefs or whatever the case may be is disingenuous. And even if I didn't agree with them at all, they're my brothers. If anybody goes in on them, I'm going in on them, because they have every right to be and believe and have whatever the hell they want, just like anybody else do. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, damn all that. Psychopath, you got me started. I was getting ready to
many times I was in the back chat in groups of white people in their live stream, and I was in there with brothers that was atheists and believed and it was Egypt, Kemetic cats. And we band together, against the cracker. That's just, what I mean? Like, we put all that shit, our little differences to the side. And I believe me and Psychopath I believe I was in a back chat with Psycho, before a few months ago, where the same thing kind of happened. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I feel the same way,
Yeah, it's called staying on code. It's called staying on code.
Because they gonna stay on code. I'm sorry, Psycho. They gonna stay on code. Cause like I told you. Now, yeah, I'm gonna let you know. I was born in Chicago, grew up there to about 8, came to Texas. Just like coming to a whole nother country, y'all. This is the first time I saw white people. Only time I saw white people when I was in Chicago was on TV. When I moved to Texas, that's a whole different story, and they different. Them folks band together. They could be wrong as hell, but they gonna stick together, and they ain't gonna contradict each other. They gonna stick together. They know they be wrong, cause I caught them on some stuff. See them run out the door with stuff, and they gonna say, that's all right. But they see a black man, or they want me to watch the black people. Y'all watch him. I be seeing them. I be telling them, hey, put that down. They watching. I tell them put that stuff down and don't be getting nothing, cause I ain't trying to send our people to jail. You letting them run out the door with a hunchback. They got stuff that's running out with hands full of stuff, but you want me to come over here and watch these black people checking out. They gonna watch. Exactly. They gonna take care of themselves. And you know what? I'm gonna take care of mine too. And I see them, I say, hey, put down. A lot of them listen. I don't have no problem. You gonna help yours? I'm gonna help mine too.
Right, and they have an obsession. They have an obsession. A guy did a study on white people in Google, and just them getting on the internet, period. And he said that the vast majority of them, they're obsessed with looking up black people, mainly us in America, and it's vastly on some racist shit. They're looking up racist jokes and things like that. And they're fucking obsessed with us, And the thing about the internet is people are really honest when they get on the internet. When you're behind that computer screen and everyone is a stranger to you, these guys are really honest about what they're looking up. And it's a fixation on black people here in America, on some real racist undertone type shit. The guy that did the study, he actually predicted that Trump would win the election based off of that. It's real deep.
You know what? I'm just curious about why is they so obsessed with us. it's the something we have that they don't have, and they just jealous. I mean, well, I guess it is that too.
I think a lot of people,
We have
I
low self,
think a lot,
we have low self-esteem.
right
We have
there
low
you
self.
go. There you go. That's just what I was about to
And,
say. Like, oh,
yep, and
Exactly. You know what I find interesting is how so
Hey,
many
Scorpion.
how I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jalen.
Hey, I'll be heading. Hey, I'll be heading out. Now I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get ready for class. Hey, Psychophys. Hey, I can't post. I can't post on your live channel on my
I'm
other
blocked.
channels. Now I have both. I have Jenna McCaster too now.
Well, I just unblocked you, so you should be good now.
All right, man. I'm heading out. See you later.
All right, I thought
Take
you
care,
did.
Jalen.
Peace, Jalen.
yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, that's a young brother right there. That's a
right.
young brother right there. He
But
young. He learning.
that's exactly what it is. It's insecurity, low self esteem. You know, they've been lied to. I just had a discussion with a couple of cave animals, and I let them know, like, right before the Renaissance period, you guys were in the caves. Like, you lie about history, you whitewash history. You don't, I told them, I said, look at the coats of arms of all the noble families of Europe. You'll see that all of those coats of arms are black. Why is that? Why is it that you have guys like John Henson, and there's evidence that this guy was the first during a time when blacks were slaves here? Why is that? You know, because your people have whitewashed and have lied about history just to make you guys feel good. You know.
You know, that's right. Because even though I didn't have a lot of history when I was going to school, I just didn't like school. Because like I told you, when I moved to Texas, I had one white teacher look at me with them green eyes, told me I wasn't gonna be nothing, and she had so much hatred in her, But not knowing who I was at the time, but the Lord, Most High had His arms protecting me. She's so hateful, and she did so much hateful to black children in that school, putting them back, holding them back a grade. She lost one of her child. He hung himself. Like dang. So they don't never get. It never goes good for them. They try to be so hateful, but they just hateful. They just hateful as you can be. Just like I say, I was in that school system that never taught. I'm just saying. I don't know if y'all ever heard tell of is it was they used to have a thing called Title One. Now all the black kids, now except for one white, maybe retarded white kid, they put all the black kids in the Title One, and then all the white kids was in this special classes, were they advanced classes, what they call them. But even the kids, I'm looking at that like, well, why come we all in the Title One and everybody they in the special classes, no advanced classes. But even keeping back from history, that means if you want to learn, you still learn. Because even when I was growing up, I'm like, why come they always start their history with King Arthur? They never go any further back. But then when I go back and was asking about Dark Ages, they never said, nobody wasn't smart during the Dark Ages. You know, but if you want to keep on learning and learning, I just kept learning. I figured out why they called it Dark Ages. Black folks was intelligent and running things in England. That's why they called it the Dark Ages.
Right.
But they don't tell you stuff like this in school. They tell you when I found out black, and that was down in the school in Texas. All I know we were slaves, and I knew about Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, and Martin Luther King, and they might have said something about Malcolm X, but they weren't trying to hear something from him because he was the radical. But they'll preach about Martin Luther King and he wants to love and you march for peace and stuff like that. And for a while I thought maybe we just get along, we just get together and just think it out. But
They sold you. They sold you on.
they
They
sold
sold
me
you
that
on it.
bill. I did. I took that hook, boy. That worm was fat. But I got off that hook because after grow up and you look at stuff like, dang, you hear stuff behind your back, especially when people you trying to be nice and you cooking stuff, and you got these folks come behind your back and talking about you. You think, okay, what did I do to do this person to make them act like that? You don't do nothing. That's their personality. Then I went to researching it. Then I found out that these cats, these folks got tails and horns. You go look at their history. They got horns coming out their damn head. They got tails. They ain't drawing that for no abstract drawing. That stuff was real on them. They came from animals. And they're like, damn, these, no wonder they can blow up a church and burn people and hang folks and don't have no conscience and have your kids set a picnic while you burn somebody, and then they tell us to get along.
Right,
You
and then
know, y'all gonna be alright.
they're big time trolls. They like to have pointless, meaningless conversations about how they ruled over blacks and how blacks were slaves and black people have a low IQ, and none of it is steeped in fact. And you know, that's how they get their energy up. You know, that's how they feel better about themselves. It's really pathetic. You know what I mean? But when they come across guys like me, you know, they get a thorough education on what it really is. You know, what their history truly is. You know, they don't walk away feeling so good.
Right, right. I like to put them in their place too because, like I said, I work for Walmart, but you have them little white folks to come in there every now and then, try to throw me off. One of them, example, one of them gonna come to me, him and his buddy gonna look at each other and laugh, talking about you take a Federal Reserve note, and I just looked there and I say, yes, we do take Federal Reserve notes. We take everything except monopoly money. Then he gonna have the nerve enough to ask me, you know what a Federal Reserve note is? I took that dollar bill he handed me and pointed to him. This says Federal Reserve note, and he like, and then his buddies just shut up looking at me, talking about, well, we know we asked. Then they covered up like this. Well, we just surprised because we asked managers. They don't even know what the Federal Reserve note is. I said, yeah, they probably don't. But he's trying to make, just because you're a cashier or something, you're black. But you show them up, no, they shut up. That shut their face up right then and there. You don't have to. Now I didn't go to a whole lot of college, but ain't nothing stopped me from going to the library and going on the internet and learning.
That's all. That's all. The dollar bill is a Federal Reserve note. It's an IOU. It's actually not worth anything. It's an IOU. That's all these bills are. That's why all of them say Federal Reserve note in the back of it. If the government decides today to say that the current currency is no longer any good, those dollar bills you got don't mean anything. That's why it's all
Right.
about resources.
Right.
That's why
It wasn't the idea that it was a Federal Reserve note. He smart smart ass was thinking he was being smart. Didn't know I know what a Federal Reserve note was. I'm handling it every day. How I not know what a Federal Reserve note is? You have these folks that come in and just try to talk down to you, and I had a lot of I speak up for my people, and like, hey, y'all don't have to, just because you work here, you don't have to act like that. You don't have to show your ignorance. You show them you smarter than them. You working for a job. They have to come in here and they got to take your money. You getting their money. They the ones have to come in here. If they was all that high class, why the hell they coming to Walmart? They be going to, one of them fancy stores. They ain't no fancier than you. They come to Walmart.
Oh
You
man,
can't
that's how
let
they
people
say.
talk down to you.
That's how they say they money. White people love Walmart. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Right, and and I like to point out to them too that you're a fucking slave in your own kingdom. 1% of your population is controlling all of you, and they just happen to be the people that you hate, the fake Jews, the so-called Jewish people. And I let them know, like, you're a fucking slave to the international banking family. And they really
Right.
hate that shit. Yeah, that really pisses me off.
You know what that was about too. That slavery wasn't about no damn all that freeing the slaves and all that stuff. It wasn't about that. Them white folks didn't like them Jews. and that southern part
Oh,
was trying to break away. And them Jews say, "Oh, hell to the no, to the no, no."
you talking about the Civil War?
That started.
You
Yeah,
talking about the Civil War?
that
Oh yeah,
wasn't about that.
that
Yeah,
wasn't
that
slavery.
them white folks didn't like the Jews, and they were
Slavery
gonna
was
get
a
their
side.
own banking system.
Slavery was a side note.
Yeah, go ahead.
They rewrote history to make it seem like that shit was all about slavery. Slavery was such a side note. It was just something that was just thrown in. That shit was about money and control. It was about filling up the newly crowned state with voters, so they can start redlining shit and everything else. Redlining really started back then.
I would say it was. You talking about the Civil War?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was over the railroads too, because at the time, but it's still money. But that's yeah. If you owned the railroads, you pretty much owned this country back then, because there was no airplanes or cars. It was just trains and horses. That was it.
Right. So what I'll say is that it's indirectly slavery was the main point, because how can the North compete with slaves working railroads for free, and up north you had to pay them? You know what I'm saying?
It was a side note. It wasn't the main.
It's indirect. It's like indirectly connected to everything, because it's like a money issue, right? Well, the North can't compete financially with the South if the South is getting all this money with no overhead to pay employees. So it's like, it's not because of slavery, but it's indirectly because of slavery.
Yeah, you gotta think about the southern folks too. Them white folks did not. They knew who the Jews were. They didn't want them. You know, that banking system was taken over then, and they didn't want the Jews over their money. That's what I think too. I mean, I'm just
it's like,
guessing.
It's a money issue, right? So at the end of the day, it was about money, and the slaves were an intricate part about the money issue.
Yeah, because what you do when you got to do when you a slave and you want to know what they do.
Like
they
just
catch your butt and bring you right back on home.
Just think about it. What if like a company like McDonald's didn't have to pay its employees? They would, and I'm talking about they would just get straight profit, no cost. You didn't have to pay your employees nothing. It would be
supplies. You got to pay for supplies.
You have to pay for supplies, but when you're talking about people making $10, maybe $8 to $10 an hour, all of that's going in your pocket.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody's paycheck is going in your pocket. Every single paycheck for McDonald's will be going in your pocket.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that, and it's like the North is like, man, this shit ain't fair. I'll tell you what, if the North had slaves, we still be up in slavery, man. Like if the North, it wouldn't have been no. See, I agree with you. So it wasn't like some moral obligation to get rid of slavery. It wasn't like, oh no, slavery's bad, so we need to get It's money.
The international
they appealed to the countries. They did appeal to the country's emotions at the time. Support, as far as the North goes, as far as support, to go into war. As far as like Uncle Tom's Cabin and everything else, like that drew up a lot of.
Yeah. It played a little part.
Like, yeah, but the powers that be can give a fuck about all that.
Right.
It's almost like.
I want to
go ahead, Perry.
The international bankers wouldn't have been able to move in and take over America had they not gotten rid of the power that was in the South. Like I said, we're just, we're like squeezing in between two evil sides at the end of the day. But, the Rothschilds and the DuPonts, these international banking families that actually control and have privatized, the money system of America, the Federal Reserve is controlled by them. They would have met stiff opposition from, people in the South, considering that they had that much freedom with the free slave labor and everything. It's weird for us, and we decide to look at it.
Man, Perry, what up, man? Hey, man, I don't know if I could talk to dude anymore, man. Like, that's just ridiculous.
What are you talking about? What was that?
Yesterday, man, on the hangout, man, we was talking about Toby. Man, I can't. Too animated.
What hangout? What happened?
Man.
Oh, yeah, it was, man, it was.
It's like this, Psycho. It's like, okay, like we all having discussions right now, right? There's a difference between one come in and having a discussion and just being in straight debate mode. Like, there comes a point in time yeah, like you have to get out of debate mode. So you can't you can't be in debate mode all the time.
I agree. Hey, see, my problem with being in quote unquote debate mode is that's when the conversation starts becoming intellectually dishonest.
Right.
Because people are more concerned with winning.
They're trying to win.
Opposed to getting to the truth. Yeah, opposed to probably getting to the truth or having a good constructive conversation. The conversation always goes left when people get into the debate mode.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, and then you'll be like, yo, bro, I didn't say that. Why are you saying that? You know what I'm saying? Because it's debate mode. I have to create. Man, I hate it.
Yeah, because it's more about winning.
Yeah, that was disgusting yesterday. Those type of conversations give me a headache, you know. And it was a very biased channel. You know, the host, he went from, being fair, and then when those guys came in, it's obvious that he see those guys as some type of superstars in his mind. You know, he kind of like rolled out the red carpet for them, and
it's like Psycho. Like me,
was y'all debating the Bible?
Yeah, we was debating the Bible, but it's like Psycho. Like me and Perry disagree on a shitload of stuff. But when I'm talking to him, it don't be a debate mode. It'd be like, all right, Perry, check this out. What you think about that? Then he'll be like, well, I don't know, Alvin, because it says this right here. Like, it's not like debate mode.
And y'all have an open discussion about it.
Yeah, like we're disagreeing. You know what I'm saying? We're disagreeing on the topic. But I ain't throwing little.
It's not intellectually dishonest conversation.
Right.
Yeah, it's not intellectually dishonest conversation. You're not quote mining somebody. You're not doing
throwing
this,
the little side shots like, man, Perry, you need to study a little bit more because you ain't up on this. Like that, them little sidebar comment. Yeah, like that little
straw man argument.
Yeah, man, that shit weak.
I know exactly what you mean.
It's weak.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly. You said y'all was debating the Bible. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Actually, me and Alvin. Right. Well, me and Alvin, we was just in there having a simple conversation. You know, they came in there looking to debate the Bible.
Right. They came in, because I was talking. We was talking about Tobit and whether something can be classified as magic, right? And we just talking, right? And and here's the funny thing. I don't even subscribe to Tobit, but I was just on Hebrew Perry. I was just trying to balance it out because
I know how you do. I know how you do.
Yeah, I was trying to balance it out because it was like 5-on-1. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I brought in. I was like, okay, even though I might not subscribe to this book, y'all wrong about this, this, and that. And then we started off like that, and then it just went crazy after that.
Yeah,
bananas
man,
after that.
I know what you talking about. You know, it's funny how I started this hangout. It's funny. I went over there on Discord, and they of course they was talking about their favorite topic over there.
Dicks.
Us.
No, they talk about dicks. All they talk about is dicks, man.
They love them gay jokes.
Right, man.
But besides the gay stuff,
I'm telling you, there hasn't been one time I've gone on there and they haven't said the word dick or penis one time. It's like, dude, why are y'all so obsessed with that?
These are males?
Yes, they are.
These males?
Yes. They always have some joke about a dick or a penis. I'm like, yo, why do y'all?
I'm gonna tell you why. Have y'all seen their statues? Have you seen they Greek
Yeah, they
statues?
statue. Yeah,
You
it's
seen
always
them
Greek.
little penises? That's
You
why they
always see that.
fascinated with your DNA.
Yo, 'cause they obsessed over there. That's
Yo,
true. But outside the gay stuff, they obsessed over us too.
yeah, the Black
I clicked
Lives
in over
Matter
there and they was
shit. They
talking
keep
about us.
talking about the Black Lives
Yeah,
Matter.
they had some of them race. They had a couple of new race realists over there. So, they
See
had
that that
they
race
brand new.
realist. Oh man, the race
Yes,
realist shit is so
these
weak.
two dudes, these two motherfuckers is brand new. So
And then they
they got to
just
come over
boom.
there.
And
Of
then they
course,
do
none of
this.
us ever heard. Of course,
Look,
none of us ever heard this race realist crap that they about to start spewing in everybody's ear. None of us ever heard it before because they brand new. So they got to make sure that we hear what they got to
man,
say,
and
even
then
if
what
we
they
heard on
now I like their
it
technique
already.
of bombarding you with statistics. They just give you like 100,000 statistics with no context to the statistic. They just give you the
Exactly.
statistic. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
Typical.
oh
Typical.
man.
And so when I went over there and heard that, I was like, you know what? I told the family I was gonna let them hear some of these motherfuckers next time I heard him doing it. So I let them hear a little bit of it. Unfortunately, by the time I got in there, they had already started drifting over to what they was talking about. They started drifting over to the civilizations and what was the first languages and everything else. And I already knew that I was about to start delving into religion. So I was like, I'm not going to bore the family with their philosophical religious debates because I know I don't care. I listen to it, but I know the family probably ain't going to care about
Yeah, them dudes, man, they race
I
really.
don't. Y'all ever remember? Y'all remember going to Yahoo chat rooms? Anybody remember that?
Oh, that's back in the day. You
Yahoo
got
chat
to
room.
fight all that
That's
stuff.
back.
That's
Oh man,
we
I
talking
end up in
2000,
one.
2001.
Yeah, but I was in there. Okay, I know it's old, but
I
I was
remember.
in there one day. I was in there one day, and I was in. This was supposed to be in a Christian chat room, and how I end up in, I don't know. But I got to listening. I didn't have no face or nothing. I ain't put my face out there. I ain't say nothing. I just listened. I listened to this Christian chat room. And it was all racist. I didn't know they got a name for each quarter of blood of black you got in you. I was just tripping out, say, what? I'm just listening. If you 1/3 black, you call something, and then if you was 1/4 black, he was called something, and I heard the mulatto, and then I was like, damn, what kind of chat room is this? It got. I'm looking, making sure it says it's Christian. I did. It was Christian chat
See,
room 6 too, and I like, dang, they just broke it all down. I'm just listening to this, and I'm saying, now these supposed to be Christian. I'm like, okay.
let me tell you about those people right there. Now, Psycho. Let me tell you why
Yeah.
I respect Ku Klux Klan and skinheads over these race realists, because they just come out and tell you, we don't mess with y'all. We don't like you because you're black.
Right.
Okay, this is what it is. This race realist stuff is like, oh, I don't hate black people, but here's the
I just
facts.
think you're inherently stupid.
Yeah, I just think here's the facts. Here's the statistics. Oh no, I don't. Yeah, nah, no, 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 no. Just tell me how you really feel. Tell me how
I
you
used
really
to tell them
feel.
that.
Don't
That's
don't
what I
don't.
used to tell them.
Yeah,
I used to tell
don't
them
beat
that. I
around
say,
the
you know
bush.
what? Right. I used to tell them. I said, I miss the good old '60s. And they say, what? I said, yeah, I do, because they at least tell you I hate you black namers. I hate you nigga. They tell you I hate
Less
you.
phony back then. They was less
Yeah.
phony back
Checked out a hell of a lot more with this. Oh, I'm just a race realist. Here's statistics.
then. Yeah. See,
Like
that's that phony
I don't
shit.
respect that.
Don't be phony with your shit. Let me know straight up. Let me know what's going on. Like Kia was just saying. Back in the '60s, they was less phony. They was more real back then. They kept it a buck with you. And like
They
now
kept it
they
real.
phony as shit. Try to play these little stupid games like they really care about you. They really are. They really not racist. It's really not like this. You're just tripping everything else. And then they turn and then they turn around and start saying all types of stupid stuff like black people are inherently stupid. Black people are inherently savage and violent and all this other stuff. I'm not racist though. I'm just showing you the stats and the numbers and blah blah blah. And all this. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you're right. Because I told one lady, I say, I was talking to a white man. He gonna tell me, uh, I told him, I told him about the Hebrew and how we gonna get the land back and judgment coming in. The first thing we didn't have nothing to do with that. And I just say, you know what? You might not have nothing to do with it. And you ain't gonna turn around and tell me we just need to forget about it. I say, I ain't gonna never forget about it. I say, as long as y'all remember the Holocaust and you remember D-Day, you remember 9/11, and them wasn't a whole lot, them wasn't a whole lot of white people that got killed. They killed millions of us. And then you want us to forget about it? I say, I looked at him and told him I ain't gonna never forget about it. He got on the subject because he had a swastika on his elbow. So he had to stop and explain to me why he had a swastika on his elbow. I really know. I know the swastika was around the Egypt time. I know that. They got him on their statue. He gonna try to explain it. Well, this was when Egypt, and I say, I know that too. But I also know that the swastika was a racist thing. But he trying to explain that swastika on talking about we need to forget about it. I say, I ain't gonna never forget about it. I looked at him, he walked right on out that door. You don't tell me to forget about nothing and you didn't kill my people, you know? And the ones that didn't want to, they deal with, or throwed it off the boat and left them on the train to drown. No, don't tell me not to forget about it. And then the minute you kill one of them, they make you remember every day. They still talk about that damn white girl that got killed. They got a picture on the magazine every time. What's her name? Renee Ramsey. That was that little white girl that got killed. They always talking about her. That little one white girl got killed. We still remember her 25 years later. And black children get missing and killed every day. They don't say nothing about it. I'm sorry. I got okay. I'm sorry.
No, you all good. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. We supposed to get over it. People, we supposed to get over it, deal with it. It happened. This doesn't mean anything. Like you said, their kids died. The world must stop. We 9/11. Never forget. That's the slogan. Never forget. We never supposed to forget 9/11. Just like we never supposed to forget Pearl Harbor. We never forget these times. But we supposed to get over slavery, though. Oh, get over slavery. Stop using slavery as an excuse. Get over slavery. But they want to talk about Pearl Harbor and 9/11 forever. Never forget it. That's what they tell us. This is how they train us. So you're absolutely right.
Yeah, because it's just a few of them. That's not even a whole. They wiped out families. Whole families, bloodlines were lost because of that. Because of them feeling like they need some privilege. And I ain't taking the blame off them. Them Zionist Jews was the one. The white people didn't have all them ships. Them Zionist Jews put us on them ships. Everybody named that was on there was a Jew. And they love to be, oh, we with y'all. You ain't with us. You ain't with us. Matter of fact, you helped put us on the ship. You bought the ship and had the ship made. I ain't mad. I ain't trying to upset nobody. But if you ain't a black Hispanic or a black Indian that was put in slavery, we ain't no family either because they own slaves too. So
exactly. I get so tired of my people.
You beat us just like them white people.
Yep. Yeah, I'm so tired of my people getting these Native Americans passing to the point where a lot of us wish we was Native American. We got a Native American complex too in our people. How many of our people always running around here screaming, I got Indian in my family? We just want to have Indian in our family. We want to have anything non-black in our family. Anything. It's depressing. Like these Native Americans ain't no better. They own slaves. You think these Native Americans own slaves? You think who you think was walking that Trail of Tears with them Native Americans? It was us. Guess why? We had to walk it because we was their slaves. We was walking in their chains. Some of those deaths that happened on the trail, most of those deaths that happened during the Trail of Tears was us. Dying. And we couldn't make the trip. Trying to keep their wagons up. But we cape for the Native Americans too. Native Americans, they want a sports team name change. We right there cheerleading. Yeah, Jay's name, Jay's name. Fuck them.
I told her keep
That's
it the
their
same.
problem.
I told her keep the same shit. I
Well,
wasn't
thank you.
about don't be chained on me. Hey, it was fine when they was winning.
I know that's right.
They didn't think about it. They long as hey they got their name representing something. We ain't got our name representing nothing. We don't own no team. We don't
They
own
full.
nothing.
I debunked the hell out of that whole bullshit anyway. Them motherfuckers got a Napoleon complex. That's what they got. These motherfuckers wanted their own version of the word nigger. They wanted their own version of the word nigger that nobody can touch or whatever the case may be. But they full of shit though, because the word redskin ain't never had the same meaning to it as the word nigger. It never had the same disdain to it as the word nigger. As a matter of fact, until 2012, most people thought of the word redskin, they thought about who the fuck was the quarterback on Sunday. That's what the fuck they associated with the word redskin. People didn't even look at it as a slur until these motherfuckers started trying to make it a slur. And as a matter of fact, I can take it even deeper. These motherfuckers sit up here, it's a fucking reservation out in Arizona. I forgot exactly where. It's out in Arizona. It's a reservation out there. They got a high school that's 98% Native American. This high school is 98% Native American, and the name of their football team or sports teams or whatever, their name and mascot is the Redskins. And it's the same exact mascot as the motherfucking Washington Redskins, the exact same mascot.
Wow.
And it's on the reservation. 98% Native American. But they want to sit up here and want everybody to cause a ruckus over a sports team name that they got on their own plantation. They can't even get that school to change their name on that reservation, but they want to sit up here and fuck around with a sports team and want everybody to rah shit scoom bob behind that shit. Get the fuck out of here. Go fuck yourself. Where the fuck was y'all at when Tamir Rice got shot? Fuck was y'all motherfuckers at? Fuck out of here. You know, I got called nigger more times besides you Europeans. No, more Native Americans called me nigger since 2012. And nobody besides Europeans called me nigger more since 2012 than Native Americans. Native Americans been flaming me with nigger. Call me nigger this and nigger that and everything else. Because I ain't letting them get away with shit. Get the fuck out of here. I tell the motherfuckers all the time, listen, check your motherfucking high school. All right, redskin don't mean the same thing as nigga. When you can find me a high school in North called the North Niggers, then you can compare the word nigga. When you can get up there and find me a high school called the Compton Coons, then you can compare the word redskin to the word nigga. Get the fuck out of here. Stop it. Stop it. These motherfuckers, they are angry back there. They mad at Europeans for taking their motherfucking country. You want to be mad at them? Cool. Be mad at them. That's not my fight, motherfucker. Not my fight. You go handle that shit. I ain't got all that because you benefited from these Europeans taking over this country too. Because you also own slaves. So I'm not going to sit up here and shed any tears for y'all. All right? On your trail. I'm not shedding any tears. Kick rocks. All right? Kick all those rocks. Everybody wonder how the hell come Black Wall Street was way out in Tulsa, Oklahoma. How the hell did all those black people ended up in Tulsa, Oklahoma? Because of those Native Americans.
Right.
Slaves walked our asses all the way out to fucking Oklahoma and left our asses there. We had to make our own. Which was a good thing. We did get to make our own, wasn't able to keep it.
Right.
But that's there though, motherfuckers. Stop caping for these goddamn Native Americans.
They don't want you on their property if you black. I know that for sure. I talked to a young black lady that was up there, Wyoming. Them what they call Sakota Indians. Mm-hmm. They look at black people like, you know, you do. That's how I know. Yep. Hey, that's how I'm gonna get on to that cycle. That's how I know we Hebrews. Because the Bible said that. We the scum of every earth. Everything, and we're going to be a byword. And what was every... I heard, you hear it in Japan. Nigga. They don't, you know how they do. I don't know how to do the Japanese accent, but you know, I'm thinking, well, damn, what they know about what black folks in? Oh, I guess it was some black. They might have put slavery over there too. Ain't no telling. I know it's some in Italy, but you know, so they might have got over to Japan too. But you know, they don't. They nobody wants to be black. But when things turn around, when it comes up, everybody gonna want to be black at the end. You just watch. You gonna be looking at folks like, damn. They gonna want to be black at the end. Go ahead.
Those Native Americans give a damn about us. I'm gonna tell you,
no,
they can give a damn.
Nobody gives a damn about us.
We always caping for people who don't give a fuck about us. They don't care about us. None of them. None of them. Well, what about the Mexicans? Those are brothers. None of them.
No.
What about the Puerto Ricans? None of them. What about the Dominican? None of them. What was it? This one they ain't too bad. None of them. None of them.
You're right. None of them.
Stop it.
Right.
But they went through this and they went through that and everything. None of them. None of them. They all will tell you, yeah, we went through this, we went through that, but at least we not black.
Yep, they sure real. They sure do, and they'll look at you like you got doo-doo on here. You know people talking about you, even though they talk the dang Spanish. They look at you, and some of them have nerve, turn their nose up, shorter than me, turn their nose up on you like you smell like doo-doo. I'm like, what the hell? You can't even speak English. You gonna come over here and, you know, and can't even speak English, you gonna act like you better than me? Yeah.
Yeah. It's just facts. I mean,
and they'll stick with everybody stick with themselves first. Now, you know, you got an HEB, you know what that stands for. They say Hispanic. Stand for Hispanic grocery store. But, you know, all of them will be Hispanic in that grocery store. You don't hardly see no blacks in there. You might see one, too, but I went through there. You don't see a whole lot, but they will hire their own kind. Like a Japanese guy say, we hire our own people. They, you know, he's right. He say, I'm looking after my family. Everybody can look after everybody except us. Until we get better on that and learn better, we gonna always be buying out of their stoves and their stuff.
Yep. We gotta stop worrying about everybody else. Stop worrying about us, just like you just said. Right. We gotta stop worrying about everybody else. When something happens to another group of people, our world needs not to stop because something happened to somebody else. That's their problem. If that's what happens, whenever something happens to us, other people's world do not stop. Other people's world do not stop. They don't be like, oh, I can't believe this happened to this African American black man and blah blah blah. No, it's none of that. It's really? Oh, something happened to another black guy? He probably deserved it. No good thugs. No good thugs. That's what they are. They all thugs. Forget Black Lives Matter. They call it Black Lies, not lives with a V. No lies. Like you're not telling the truth. Black Lives Matter. That's what they go. Fuck Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. They start popping shit. That's what happens when black people die. White people die. Our world gotta stop. Oh my God, that was such a travesty that happened out in Paris. That was such a travesty that happened in Paris. Where's my Facebook page at? Let me put my flag. Let me put the French flag on my avatar. Let me put the French flag on my avatar. Represent Paris. Show that we care. Fuck out.
That's half across the world. That's half across the world. They don't give a darn. Like I told this white girl just to see. You know, I know she wasn't gonna care, but I just want to see her reaction. I said, 46,000 black women missing, and she just looked at me. Really? I say, yeah. What you think about that? Oh, well, that's sad. I say, so you think 46,000 white people coming missing? Would you think they'd be concerned about it? She kind of looked at me and walked. I said, yeah, that's what I thought. I guarantee you, 1,000 white people come up missing. They have the Federal Reserve Guard coming out. They gonna be searching. It's gonna be what you call that? Martial law? Martial law gonna be enforced?
CNN will have 24-hour coverage on the shit. Every day, day 56, the people still missing. Blah 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 blah. News at 11. Get the fuck out of here! Like I'm telling you, they have a countdown. Get the fuck out of here! Like that's what they do with Europeans. Let it be black people, and please.
That's right, because they really don't. That's why we got to be concerned about ourselves. And all this other stuff, we might not agree with certain things, but we better be agreeing on we being black and learning to trust each other, because it's gonna get worse. It's gonna come to a point in time. I say, hey, tell your family, they gonna be putting us in them damn concentration camp. We gonna have to be running again. Now, don't ask me how I know that, but I just know it's gonna come to a point in time we gonna have to start. I'm looking at a lot of us. We coming out here, going back in the country, buying land. I noticed that. That's a good thing. Coming back in the country, raising our own gardens and stuff. But until we get ammunition, like I see some of these people piling up. I hear them. I go to Starbucks just to listen. I just act like I ain't listen. Put the earphones on and don't have them on. I be listening to them. They be talking about how many rifles they done bought and how many guns they got. And now, mind you, like I told you, I'm in Texas, right? They got an open gun carrier, so they carry theirs on their hip. Nobody said nothing. I'm yet to see a black person carry theirs on their hip and see what's gonna come of it. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting because I wanna. Because of course none of us gonna be probably gonna do that unless you're a police officer, because of the situation. Because you might just get shot just because you have yours on your hip and they have theirs on their hip, but you might get shot because you got yours on your hip and you dark skinned. So I'm just waiting. I want to hear some news on that. A lot of us ain't carrying it yet, at least not in the open. You know what I'm saying? But they do have the open gun carry in Texas, so I don't know what's gonna come with that.
I know
Oh, you
very
heard
well.
about that?
I used to live in Texas for a little while, so I know. I used to see it.
So you've been in Texas. Have you seen brothers carry?
Who?
Have you seen brothers carry guns besides the white people?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it gotta be non. It gotta be open. Yeah.
It gotta be where?
Yeah, it gotta be open carry, like you said. It can't be concealed. It gotta be open. So yeah, I see it. People had their guns right there in their holsters and everything.
Okay, you seen the black brothers carrying some though. That's what I'm saying. What they carrying and okay.
Yeah.
All right. I just ain't seen none around here. I just.
I did. But I was south of you though. You up there by Dallas, right?
No, I'm in East Texas, around Lufkin. I was visiting my sister.
Okay, I was in Central Texas. I was out by Austin. I was around.
Oh, y'all liberal down there, man. They liberal. That we call liberal.
It's a college town. Yeah.
Yeah, they liberal down there. Where time I go through, where they got a city. I want to go there, but I'm scared too. They got a city called Gun Bear City. You heard of that one?
No.
In Texas.
Is that by Galveston?
No. It's over there. Right, you come with Kaufman and Ellis. You go down. Yeah, you go down to there on 175.
Okay.
Interstate 175 is called Gun Barrel City, and I bet. I'm just curious, but I don't want to go in town I might not come out of. So, some places you just know. If you know the area, we know certain areas you don't go to. They still say, even though some places in Texas got a sundown rule for black folks. It's unspoken, but us black folks, we tell each other, let them know you don't go there, you don't stop there. You drive. Matter of fact, you fill up before you get there, so you don't run out of gas, so you can go drive through there. That's how dangerous some places is. Cause some
Yeah, they. I remember when I was in Texas, they told me they had a straight segregated town out there by Galveston. That was that's openly segregated. I didn't go to the town, but yeah.
What's called Splendor? Splendor is like that, and then they.
I forgot. It's by Galveston. I know that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because I know it's.
We talking about we talking about the border.
Oh wow. Well, at least this one. Nah, this couldn't have been Splendor because Splendor had the our team football play there, and they had a sign on a concession stand: "Support your local KKK." On the concession stand.
I saw the Klan in they was marching in Austin. They was marching to the Capitol. There was what was they fighting? Gay marriage. They was going against gay marriage.
Oh.
They marched to the Capitol.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw them. I saw them out there.
You know, I really admire them. I ain't mad at them. I admire the KKK because they stay with their own kind. They ain't no intermixing and all that kind. I wish ours would learn that lesson, but I might be stepping on some toes. Our kind, we just want to mix with everybody.
I have no problem with them wanting to stay with their own.
Yeah, that's what I like. That. That's what I'm saying. I like that. I wish they would stay with their own. You know.
That part I don't have no problem with. It's the other shit I got a problem with. Bombing churches, killing our people, terrorizing, being terrorists to our people over all these motherfucking years. That's my issue with them. I have no problem with them staying on their own.
You're right. Right.
Real talk. Yeah, I'm about to get ready to shut this down, kid.
Okay. Yeah, because everybody going home or going to sleep one.
Yeah, it's Friday night, and I guess I get ready to do it. I'm putting stuff off all week. I guess I better get to it. I said I'll do it this weekend.
All right, shalom, bro. You take care. Nice talking to you.
Yeah, definitely, always. I'll talk to you later. Peace to everybody in the chat. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace and black power. I'm out.